Whew, okay, let me real quick. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to move ya. Got a whole bunch of crap on my desk that I don't need. Really need to clean this thing. Gotta make sure the audio is good. Okay. So. Okay. I think it's good. Sorry, I was moving a whole bunch of crap. Okay. No background music. Well, actually, some. I don't want to get copyright or anything like that, you know. Okay, now how's the audio? Okay. How's that? Okay, we're good. Well, I guess, Merry Late Christmas. I was going to stream Christmas night, but other stuff happened instead, so. But hey, at least we're here now. I'm just gonna get right into it.
Let's begin.
Yeah, let's begin. Tonight is a silent night, as I sit in front of my childhood home for the last time. After I return from my trip, the place will have nothing but a Christmas tree and a set table. Tomorrow morning, I will be saying goodbye to a childhood friend who has watched my family and I grow within its walls. I will be leaving for my aunt's bed and breakfast in the countryside, while my mother packs all of our good memories into boxes. At least the ones that fit. The house I grew up in isn't really a house, but no one ever asks about the 2-bedroom walk-up I grew up in. House is a strange word. I don't really like the way it tastes on my tongue. It never felt it never feels so much more extravagant than what I live in. Why don't people ever ask about my home? A house has enough bedrooms for every person living in the place. It has a comfy living space, a backyard, and a front porch. There's a bedroom so small that the mattress acts as a couch, desk, and bed all at once. A house doesn't have 4 flights of stairs between its occupants in a musty-smelling lobby. But most importantly, a house doesn't have the memory of a deceased loved one lingering in all the things scattered around the cramped space. Not in the always tidy hamper or the uncluttered top shelf of the wall unit, not even in the almost empty refrigerator. My two-bedroom walk-up certainly isn't a house, but it is a home. A home filled with painful memories that I can no longer stomach. That's why I'm leaving. Not for good. That would kill my beautiful mother's taped-together smile. But I'll leave until all the holiday cheer in the streets of New York City is gone, until I no longer have to watch my mother unwrap a gift and label it to Craig from Santa. We all know that he is going to miss the 3rd Christmas in a row, but it will still feel like the very first time we celebrated his favorite holiday without him. I'll have to look into my mother's hollow eyes as she tears open the finely wrapped paper and exclaim that Craig would appreciate the gift. It's always the same thing, too. The sterling silver guardian angel pin that she had given him almost 5 Christmases ago. The one she and I had spent hours arguing with the postal service on the phone for after they lost the package en route. This Christmas, my mother will not have to spend the happiest time of year with 3 spots at the table unclaimed. She has my word. Until that time comes, I need to leave the overtly in-your-face holiday cheer that New York City is famous for. Not because I don't appreciate a large Christmas tree in every well-known area or ice skating rinks filled with people chattering excitedly. It's because I just don't know how the city is able to keep moving when, to me and my mother, it feels as if the world has stopped spinning. My hand glides over the aluminum mailbox. The same aluminum mailbox that my mother and I would wait anxiously by. Our best memories were when we would finally receive a letter from Craig. After months, we'd both smile and count our blessings. Tonight, there's a different sentiment as I look at the mailbox. Tonight, I feel melancholic. But alas, all good things must come to an end eventually. Goodbye, old friend.
Please have your tickets ready for boarding. This train leaves to Riverstone, making local stops along the way.
Riverstone, that's how you say it, okay. I'm already seated on the train. If living in New York City has taught me anything, it's that behind a crowded train is usually an empty one. Score 1 for me. I place my bulky duffel bag on the seat next to me. It's a little tactic I like to call uncomfortable silence. Most people will see my bag and glare at it silently, but they won't tell me to move it. You can't get away with it for the whole ride, but for a few stops, it's totally possible. So until some old woman demands I move my stuff, I'm sitting here pretty comfortably. Archer Lane's new hit single blasts through the online radio app on my phone. The pop punk take on oh, hello, boy. The pop punk take on an old Christmas song is innovative, sure, but there's nothing incredibly moving about Archer's songs. I don't feel particularly drawn to the beat, the overlaid vocals, or all the extra processing. Christmas songs are most meaningful when they're sung honestly. Besides, why remake this old song? Of all the songs in the world, he chose to remake an old folk song based on a poem he probably knows nothing about. Not really feeling the whole make Christmas cool thing Archer's got going on. Nope, no thanks, not today, buddy. I quickly turn off the app and find my saved music folder. Ah yes, Thomas DeLuca's music always calms me. I'll play one of his songs. Thomas DeLuca's my go-to artist. His music is gorgeous. The composition, the vocals, all of it. He doesn't hide behind auto-tune like Archer Lane does. Thomas DeLuca doesn't need to. His talent is unmatched. I read an interview about why Thomas DeLuca chose to sing O Come, Emmanuel on his Christmas album instead of a more mainstream song. His answer was simple. He thought this song embodied the spirit of Christmas. His mother used to take him caroling on Christmas Eve, and this was one of her favorite songs. You can't tell just how much it means to him by listening to the amount of... You can't... I'm sorry. You can tell... I really suck at this. But I love doing it, so... You can tell just how much it means to him by listening to the amount of feeling he puts into every word he sings. Sorry. I can feel his soulful voice in the pit of my stomach with each word he sings, and it's amazing. It's almost as if I'm in another world. I shut my eyes and let his vocals take me to a different place. Oh, I love it when that happens with music. When I can just... when you can just listen to a song and get lost in it. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel, who come to thee, O Israel. Right now, I'm on a train to my sister-in-law's inn to work for the winter. I'm on stage and Thomas DeLuca is singing to me. He's holding my hand and letting me know that everything will be okay. Even if I know that nothing is okay. Well, for one, I can't even stand to look my mother in the eye as she pours an extra cup of hot cocoa in the morning, or sets the table for 3 people instead of 2. How sad is that? I'm running away from my own mother. On top of that, I have no money. I'm a 22-year-old college graduate with a degree in film and a surmounting pile of debt. All I have to show for my education is one movie, and it isn't even that good. I still have no permanent job offers. Thomas DeLuca's music can't magically toss money in my lap or bring the smile back to my mother's face, but he does help me tune out the world for a few minutes so I can pretend like my problems don't exist. When I open my eyes, it's because I can feel that the train has stopped moving. I leave my bag next to me, but I drape an arm over it protectively. A person boards the train and walks casually to the end of the car. My bag's seat is still secured. I notice that the scenery around me had changed. And it has changed as the train pulls away farther and farther from the big city. There are so many trees, and the sunlight isn't hidden by tall buildings. Riverstone might not be so bad after all, especially as it looks peaceful as the scene looks as peaceful as the scene through the train window. Riverstone is the perfect middle point for travelers heading up north to the textile-driven cities, or south to the more rural areas, or so the internet has told me. I'm sure I'll meet a lot of interesting people there, or hey, maybe none at all, which I'm totally cool with too. I switched the music off for a second when I noticed we're approaching a new station. This one looks much more packed. I give a forlorn look to my bag, which I know I'll have to move onto my lap. It's fine, just a mild inconvenience.
We are now approaching Westfield Station.
Thank you. The train slows down once again and pulls into a station like the ones before it. I wonder how far we are from Riverstone. Despite having an aisle seat, I can't see much of what's in front of me, as people pile into the now crowded train. I lean back into my seat and remove my hand from my bag. Play it cool, Lila. My solace has already been lost, as I notice the sunlight from the window is being blocked by the people standing in front of my seated figure. I never really realized how much darkness can dampen one's mood. I look up to see a man towering above me. He looks annoyed and motions to the seat next to me with his head. Without a single word, I slide the duffel bag into my lap. I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I expect the man to sit down, but he doesn't. Instead, he steps back and holds his arm out for an older woman with a cane to slide into the seat next to me.
Kids these days. You ought to be more respectful.
You ought to actually ask yourself. Rude. Usually love old people. They're awesome. They're adorable. But really, you can just ask yourself. She glares at me, but it's nothing that hasn't happened to me on a train before. Kindly, I begin to explain that I hadn't seen her, otherwise I would have moved my stuff. While I like the seat next to me being empty, relatable, I'm not heartless. I'd even stand up for someone if they looked like they needed a seat. This isn't a commuter train in this city. The social cues are much different. I only begin to realize that when I lock eyes with the man from earlier. It isn't quite a glare that sits upon his face, but he's definitely judging me.
Ma'am!
I swear I didn't see you.
The train is crowded. That big bag should go in the overhead above. I was just...
When I got onto the train, it was empty. But she continuously cuts me off to tell me I need to learn some respect. Well, sometimes you lose the uncomfortable silence game. I stand up and offer the seat to the man, since this woman looks like she'd much rather sit next to the well-gendered mannerman. The well-mannered gentleman. Ah! The well-mannered gentleman who helped her get a seat. He opens his mouth to protest, but I've already got the hulking duffel bag over my shoulder. I push past the crowd of people muttering sorry before settling into a spot by the door and away from the old woman. Still, for some reason I feel the need to keep stealing glances at the guy. I've always been infatuated with the idea of people moving around in everyday settings. It's like a photographer friend of mine always said, people living their lives is the most fascinating thing. The best way to come up with a character is to just look at the people around you. Trains are the best place to do that, especially in New York. I try to figure out who the person might be by what they're wearing or how their posture is. It's a little quirk of mine that helped me through tons of screenwriting classes in college. This particular man is strange. As he nestles himself into his corner seat, I take a long look at him. The man looks out of place, and it's no doubt because of the scarf that is pulled all the way up past his nose. It didn't look like that from the sprites, but you know, whatever. This is already really good, so I don't care about that. I also played a bit of it like 4 months ago, I think it was. He definitely gives off the vibe that he's trying to hide himself, whether it be him trying to mask his identity or a deeper self-esteem issue. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, just a people watcher. The man's blonde locks peek out from his oversized wool hat. His eyes are closed and the woman next to him is staring at him in awe. How the heck does she gravitate towards the shadiest looking guy in the train car? Ugh, how many more stops until I reach my destination? I turn on my radio app once again. It brings me back to where I left off in Archer Lane's song. I just leave it on, hoping the beat is enough to cheer me up again.
We are now arriving in River Zone. Please exit the train, as this is our last stop.
I step out of the train as soon as it stops and the door opens. I have no interest in being trampled on by the 20 or so people trying to exit as well. The cold air greets me. Now I have to call my sister-in-law. She said that she would be at the station waiting for me, but it's hard to pinpoint anything here. Despite the train letting out a big crowd, there aren't many people mulling around the massive station.
Can you move?
Huh? I whip around to see the man from earlier. I step aside and he quickly brushes past me with not even a second glance in my direction. Rude.
Lila! Hey, you're here. How was the train ride?
Startled, I jump slightly. She probably saw all that, but she's too polite to bring it up. Classic Anjali? I don't know. I regain my composure and smile brightly at her. She looks as gorgeous as ever. To someone who doesn't know her, I'm sure her brilliant smile masks the bags under her eyes. She's worn down and tired, but she's too proud to admit it.
Well?
You never answered my question. How was your train ride? Answer politely or tell the truth. I wonder which one I should do. Uh-oh. Previous saves. Whoopsie. Let's see. Answer politely or tell the truth. Well, I don't like lying, so let's just tell the truth. It sucked. There was this old lady and a guy with a big scarf who tag teamed me. This guy basically made me move my bag for this old lady, which is totally fine, but she was yelling at me for not doing it myself. And why didn't you do it yourself? Honestly, I didn't see the lady. It's not because of the bag trick your brother taught you? It's not because of the bag trick your brother taught you, huh? I know when to use the bag trick, Anjali. Only when there's not a ton of people and I plan to move it whenever someone asks me to. Until then, how am I supposed to know when someone wants to sit there?
Lila?
I swear, I was going to move it. You're looking at me like that guy was. He didn't believe me either. I believe you, Lila. I'm only teasing. There are unspoken rules in the trains in New York City, but not here in Riverstone. Everything is much more laid back. Don't be as hasty. You know what they say, you can take the girl out of New York City, but you can't take New York City out of the girl.
I'll try.
Wow, I'm surprised I didn't stumble at that. It's not that easy, but I'll try not to be an obnoxious city girl. Try to see the bright side for once, will you? Yes, ma'am. Anjali isn't happy with my feigned obedience. You know, I actually missed your sass, believe it or not. I frown. It must really be lonely out here for her. I don't know why she chooses to run this hotel in the middle of nowhere by herself. There isn't anything exciting about the area that I know of. That was supposed to be a compliment. It's not you. I'm just thinking of something.
I'm okay, really.
She sees right through me. Not surprisingly. Anjali is really good at reading people. She reaches out to me and puts a comforting hand on my back. Business is doing better, and my sister's thinking about moving out here, so don't pity an old soul.
Hardly!
Old? Hardly. You're 32. In mountain time, that's almost 50. I scoff. Your math is off, and I don't even think it works like that.
Hey now.
Don't argue with me. Anjali insists on taking my suitcase from me. She tells me that her car is nearby and begins to talk happily about what my living arrangements will be for the next few months. It's hard to concentrate on her words when I see the man who caused so much trouble for me on the train earlier. He looks disgruntled, impatiently typing on his phone. Anjali follows my gaze. What are you looking at? Everything. Riverstone is so different from the big city. We have a lot of character here, that's for sure. I get a better look at the man's outfit as we pass him by. He's wearing a red plaid shirt under a large jacket. His eyes are hidden under his blonde hair. Yep, he looks just as out of place as I feel, but the few people roaming around pay him no mind. I guess it doesn't really matter. What were you saying before? I change the conversation back to Anjali as she leads me to her car. Anjali begins to work. Why did I say that word? Begins to talk about how many people have worked at the hotel during the winter. Not including me this year, 2 others have worked there prior. Not really a big employment pool. Anjali's car is nothing extravagant, but considering I took a train to get here, I'm in no position to judge. Anjali speeds down this empty road with 0 reservations. She isn't irresponsible, rather a woman who knows her small town well. I admire her comfort in her own world, something I can't ever seem to achieve. I look out into the town, seeing Christmas trees in front of almost every single building we pass. It is picturesque. Riverstone resembles a postcard, and it makes me wonder if anything has changed at all. I wouldn't be surprised if the Christmas aesthetic was part of Riverstone's all-year-round traditions. Anjali switches on the radio with her right hand as her left steers through the bumpy road. I admire her control, not only of the car, but of herself and probably her hotel, too. Archer Lane's song plays through the speakers again, and I shut my eyes. It's one of his better songs, but it's still missing something. Rather, it has too much going on. I wonder what the song would sound like without so much production.
This is that guy, right? Arrow something?
I let out a laugh.
Archer Lane Anjali? But close.
Anjali laughs. I told you, I'm an old lady. I've seen things that would prove it. I don't doubt that she has. She must have, but that's another reason I admire her. Anjali and I drive like this for 10 more minutes, just chatting and laughing. It really is good to see her again in person, and not just behind a video chat. Last time wasn't the happiest of memories, and my heart still aches thinking about her tearful eyes at my older brother's funeral. For the first time ever, I had seen the composed woman crack. Anjali pulls into the parking lot of the Red Turtleneck Inn. I haven't ever seen it in person. Oh, excuse me. But the pictures I've seen online don't do this place justice. The inn is breathtakingly beautiful. This is the place my brother had always wanted to open with the woman of his dreams. The Red Turtleneck is finally a reality, he had once exclaimed happily, slamming the lease papers on the kitchen table of the old two-bedroom walk-up. Anjali tugs at the hem of her shirt. This is the first time I've seen her uncomfortable. Usually she's a paragon of hope, always looking at the brighter side of things. I feel the need to break the silence that weighs heavily upon us. Craig never told me why you guys decided on the name Red Turtleneck all those years ago. The naming of the inn is always a thought that passes through my mind. Craig was always so tight-lipped about his plans with this place once he acquired it. Anjali gives me a smile, but it isn't as big as the ones we shared in the car.
The red turtleneck was what I was wearing when Craig and I first met.
He was sentimental, that one. I can feel my heart tearing apart. My brother truly loved Anjali. She was his heart, his soul, and his better half. I started to realize that the inn might not be the best place to escape the painful memories of Craig's death. Anjali, despite her normal, cool personality, is hurting too. Anyway, why don't we unlock the place? As she fishes in her purse for the keys, I take in the view, looking at the property in its entirety. I'd say this place is pretty charming. The Red Turtleneck Inn looks like a cottage with an eye-catching roof. It resembles a house in size, and I wonder how many rooms are in it. Behind the inn there are two buildings. One of them must be Anjali's home, or maybe it's a cabin she rents out to guests. The mountainous backdrop is like a painting. The lush green mountains stretch up towards the clouds. Tall trees line the base of the mountains, trying to reach the summits, but they fall a couple 100 feet short. What's most glaring, though, are the Christmas decorations on the building. There are lights adorning the top of the roof and a plastic snowman by the inn sign. Anjali has the Christmas spirit despite Craig's death. I hope that, unlike my mother, Anjali isn't living a lie. I hope that she's honoring Craig's memory by celebrating his favorite season and not just going through the motions of monotony to pretend that everything is okay. Clearly, she isn't okay. Even if she's putting on a brave front, I can tell that her heart still lurches from at the mention of my brother. I suppose this is what an attempt at moving on looks like. A hand flies up to my heart. I have so many conflicting emotions. Love for Anjali and her strength. Anger at myself for not being able to move on, and of course sadness for all that is lost. But dwelling is part of the problem. I promised my mother, myself, and Craig that I wouldn't live in the past, so I won't dwell on it. I turn back to Anjali. She has to unlock the place, which means... Unlock? It hasn't been open this whole time? Anjali shakes her head, and her black locks fall against her face. Normally we would be, but someone booked the whole place. What? The entire thing? Who can afford that? I have a feeling I know who it is. I don't ask questions. My clients are entitled to their privacy. The person prepaid when they booked online and gave me the name Irving Prince. He'll be coming in a little later today, so we'll meet him then. What about me? Where do I stay? We have 2 cabins in the back. You can stay in the one on the left. It's pretty nice. Plus, you'll only have 1 guest to deal with. I hope that means less work. Anjali just shrugs. She slides the key into the lock and leads us inside of the inn. The interior of the place is just as beautiful and serene as the outside. While the outside boasts vintage light fixtures and Adirondack-style lawn chairs, the inside has a much different feel. It reminds me of a bed and breakfast with warm-colored wallpaper and quaint furniture. There's a large Christmas tree by the front door, which I can't help but gravitate towards as Anjali settles into the inn. The tree is decorated with colorful lights and plenty of ornaments, but one sticks out to me. I gasp involuntarily as a hand flies to my mouth. Anjali is in the midst of sliding off her coat when she hears me.
What is it?
This ornament.
I point to the one I'm looking at. It is a group of penguins riding on a sled, and each one has a name on its scarf. Anjali, Craig, Lila, Marcia. Our family's names. Even Mom's. Put out the ornament I gave you all those years ago?
Of course.
I've put it out every year since you've given it to me. It's the real star of the tree, topper aside. Anjali hangs her coat up on a nearby coat rack and walks over to me. She places a comforting hand on my shoulder. Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's just that it's so different from home. Mom is going through the motions of putting out our ornaments, but the sparkle behind her eyes is gone. Your eyes still sparkle when you talk about the sentimental things. Your mother has lost a child. That isn't something anyone but a parent could comprehend. Don't cry. You have to give her time.
Will time ever be enough?
Maybe, maybe not. But your mom is strong. She can get through anything. I know it. She's right, but it's hard waiting for things to go back to normal. I miss the mother I knew 5 years ago. Anjali places a kiss on the top of my head before sliding down the front desk. Before sliding behind the front desk. Okay. Mr. Scott, reservation for 1? I roll my eyes. Anjali is trying to make me smile, and I applaud her effort. I feign shock. I made no such thing! Anjali rolls her eyes in return, but begins starting up the computer. Today, I'm going to let you explore because you just got here. But tomorrow I want you up bright and early for work. Bright and early? Ugh, I'm not built for that. If you see our prolific guest, don't scare them away. I quite like the idea of having only one guest to deal with. Speaking of, that means you'll be the only one on shift. That's alright. That's alright. If I'm being honest with you, I think I want the quiet. Anjali is typing furiously on the computer. She flashes me a smile before speaking. Why not check out the place while we wait for Irving Prince? Put your stuff away and get comfortable. It's not a bad idea. I should drop my stuff off in my cabin and settle in. I take the keys that Anjali offers me. The smaller cabin on the left is yours. Dial 648 on the phone to reach the front desk, and 949 to reach my cabin. Okay. Do I need to remember this? I'm gonna just take a picture of that just in case. Boop. Alright. Smaller cabin. I'll be here doing a quick maintenance check before our guest arrives. What about Wi-Fi? I need to be connected to the internet. The signal is weak back there, so you'll have to be in the lobby to connect. But I doubt you'll be worrying so much when you realize that there's what there is to do around here on the internet in the winter. Ugh. But what about at night when I want to stream a movie? We have a DVD player. Make use of that, or stream from the lobby. I groan, but Anjali shoos me off so she can finish her work. The walk to my cabin is short. Inside, it's beautiful. The cabin has a very rustic charm. There's only one floor, but it has everything I'll need, including a bedroom, bathroom, living area, and kitchen. I lean my suitcase against the counter in the kitchen and sit at one of the high bar stools. This is the perfect place to sit with my coffee and write film scripts. That is, if inspiration strikes again. I spent years on my first film, Snowdrop. Hey! Yet no one seemed to even bat an eyelash when it was released. I just wondered if making a new film will have the same result. Maybe being in the mountains a bit will benefit me. Who knows? I can use the creative juices. I have the day off, at least for a few hours. While I'd love to explore, I need to jot some things down before I forget. My mind wanders to the stranger from the train. What's his story? World-class super spy who was following the old woman around? She must have been been a world-class information broker for a secret organization. Well, probably not, but it'd be fun to write about. I pull my notebook out from my book bag and scrawl identity across the top of the first available blank page. A movie about oneself. How we see ourselves versus how others see us, and it all starts with the guy on a train. No, even better. I'll tell his story through the perspective of the girl who watches the events unfold. It'll be a good juxtaposition. Juxtaposition? I don't know. Of the two seemingly different narratives. I scribble all of my ideas down before slamming my notebook shut. I should explore Riverstone before it gets dark. It wouldn't hurt to know my way around. If I remember my research of the small town correctly, everything closes early. I hop off of the tall bar stool and head out to tell Anjali of my plans. Anjali is still fumbling with the computer when I make my way into the lobby of the Red Turtleneck Inn. She looks up with a small smile and waves me over. So how do you like your accommodations? They're amazing. Honestly, a breath of fresh air. There's something about looking outside of your window and seeing a vast forest that is so calming. Thanks again for letting me stay. Anything for you. Besides, like I said, I could use the help. Now, what are your plans? I was hoping to check out the town before it gets dark. Do you have any suggestions of where I should check out? Well, it depends. Are you hungry? I grinned sheepishly. Is she kidding me? Of course I am. Always. There's a small cafe and gelato shop to the west of here. East is a souvenir shop and a grocery store. I want to go to the cafe. Gelato sounds delicious right about now. I turned to tell Anjali a quick goodbye. Anjali a quick goodbye. Lila, wait, on your way back, can you pick up some white bread for me? I can't have jam and toast in the morning without it. She hands me some money. For the gelato, too. I can't take this. I have money. I can't spoil my sister? Nonsense. Anjali refers to me as a sister rather than her sister-in-law. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Hey, Nero. It is a bit delayed, so I hope you'll forgive the supposed delayed hello. And thank you for the heart. Heart to you, too. Thank you. No, thank you. Have fun. I thank Anjali one more time before leaving the lobby. The streets are quiet, and there is barely anyone traversing them. I follow Anjali's directions and arrive at Lady Lacy's sweet shop. I love the way they spell that. It's so weird looking, but I like it. This place is small, but I can imagine myself spending a lot of time here. I wait in line patiently, taking in the sights of the town through the window. This is nothing like New York City, where tons of people fill the streets of every coffee house with their laptops and expensive drinks. The older woman behind the cash register smiles at me and asks what I'd like to have. A gelato sounds good. I wait a few moments for the sugary goodness and grab a seat when the cashier hands the chocolate gelato to me. Oof, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, oh, ow, my throat. I would be able to handle the chocolate gelato, probably, if it wasn't a really, really rich chocolate. But as a meal, I can't do that. I have protein problems. I would probably collapse because of the lack of protein. I wait a few moments for the sugary goodness and grab a seat when the cashier hands the chocolate gelato to me. No one is here right now, but I know that when there are a few more people mulling about, I want to be sitting in a booth and watching them. Anjali is right. This gelato is amazing, unlike anything I've ever had before. I contemplate getting another one, but I remember that I have to go and pick up some bread for Anjali. Ah! I stand up and smile at the cashier before ducking out of the ice cream shop. Layton's milk and grocery store is stocked to the top with local delicacies. The selection of homemade pies is impressive. What I'm here for is something much more savory. Maybe fresh cold cuts and chips, or how about a roast beef? I'm sure the oven in my cabin works well. Oh, and I need to pick up some bread for Angeli. I churned down the bread into the bread aisle, only to stop in surprise. The man from earlier is there. He's fiddling with a scarf in one hand and the other holds up a loaf of wheat bread. I instinctively take a step back and turn on my heels when I realize that being in this aisle is unavoidable. Angeli wants bread. Okay, fine, I can do this. I pick up a loaf of white bread and flip it over to read its contents, but really I'm looking at the man from the corner of my eye. His stature, lazily hunched over a package of plain bagels, tells me that he's young. That and the expensive name-brand headphones that are peeking out of his winter hat. I like his hair. I want hair like that. For a moment we meet eyes. He looks up at me, dropping the package into his shopping cart with purpose. I look away quickly. Does he recognize me? I expect him to look away too, but he doesn't. I feel a steady gaze on my back. It's a little unsettling. That must be how he feels with me staring at him. Fine, point taken. I drop the white bread in my shop. I drop the white bread into my shopping cart and head into the next aisle, all but forgetting why I'm here in the first place. I'm hungry. In the cereal aisle, oof. Never, ever go shopping when you're hungry. Like, holy crap. You will buy all kinds of junk food. I'm in the cereal aisle. Whatever, that'll do. I grab the fruitiest thing I can off the shelf and try to find the milk. I purposely traverse the aisles slowly so I can steal glances at the stranger to assure that he doesn't approach me. He doesn't, thank goodness. I don't think I can deal with another old lady yelling at me today. Wow. Did you just call him an old lady? Chapter 2. Or 2. I open the box of cereal and eat it as I'm walking. Cell service isn't the best here, and I'm struggling to maintain an internet connection long enough to check my social media. It's no use. The wall back to the... Why am I like this? The walk back to the inn is uneventful, but Riverstone seems like a pretty uneventful place in itself. It's why I chose to come here. I'm back, I chime in happily, as I take off my earmuffs and scarf. Even though there is no snow on the ground, it's still pretty cold out. Angeli looks frazzled. She sighs when she notices me. Oh, I knew it! I was right! I was right. Standing in front of her is the man from both the train and the grocery store, but this time the stranger has managed to take off his hat and has pulled the scarf down from covering his mouth. Involuntarily I gasp. I know this man, not from the train or from the grocery store. I know him from somewhere else entirely. Archer Lane. I knew it! I had the sneaking suspicion that it was him. At least his doppelganger. I rub my eyes to get a better look at him. I'm finding it hard to believe the man I've been avoiding looks exactly like pop sensation Archer Lane. I mean, why haven't I noticed this till now? Angeli stretches an arm out to me to grab my attention. I realize that my eyes are trained on the disgruntled man for a little too long, and seeing Angeli snap her fingers jolts me out of my thoughts. She carries on the conversation as if I hadn't just been gawking at the celebrity look-alike. I bite my lip and look away from both of them.
You're here.
Angeli turns to the man with her warming smile adorned proudly on her face. This is Lila. She'll be the only one in and out of your room to clean it, and the man cuts her off mid-sentence.
I don't need any cleaning done. I'll leave my dirty bed sheets and towels in the hallway. I can take care of everything else.
And toiletries? Will you need someone to restock your room? The man looks annoyed at Angeli's perfectly reasonable question. Rude. There's no way that this guy can be the celebrity that people gush over, but his look is definitely convincing. Angeli looks unperturbed. A seasoned veteran dealing with insulting behavior. If not for her, I'd be telling that guy to watch his tone. No need to be so snippy about everything when Angeli is being perfectly hospitable.
Lila, was it? She can bring those to me when she supplies me with clean sheets. Also, access to your kitchen facilities will be helpful.
This is a lot to take in and some kind of strange, frankly. If the man notices me from earlier, he doesn't mention it. Am I supposed to? Is that socially acceptable? What now? I assume that this is all in your paperwork, Mr. Lane. A non-disclosure agreement and your rules for staying here that we must comply with. Irving Prince is actually Archer Lane. I pull on my earlobe. Did I just hear Angeli right?
Mr. Lane?
You mean he isn't just some look-alike? Of course he isn't. A look-alike wouldn't carry himself with so much authority. It baffles me how I didn't notice this sooner. The mystery man who caused the scene on the train for me is a celebrity. A rude one at that. The man lets out an aggravated sigh.
Yes, I'm Archer Lane. Stop gawking. My non-disclosure agreement is in the paperwork packet I handed to your boss. It details my conditions for staying here. The gist being not to enter my room without permission, not taking any pictures or videos of me, and not leaking my whereabouts or personal information to the public. I will not stay otherwise.
Makes sense, makes sense. I've signed it, Lila. You'll need to sign it as well. Angeli hands me the packet in question. My hands are shaking as I flip through the documents, and I don't know why. The rules are what I'd imagined are standard for a non-disclosure agreement, but also for a decent human being. For example, things like not going into Archer's room without permission or not taking something from him. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm offended that Archer assumes I'm like that, even if it is the standard procedure. I respect people's privacy. I'm a decent human being. I struggle to find the words to say right now.
Lila.
Are you hesitant to sign the agreement? I'm sorry, it's just very hard to believe all this. I mean, just a few hours ago, Archer was on the train with me, and he had drawn everyone's attention to me as if I was some bad guy.
Were you not ogling me in the grocery store?
He poses the question as if to say, we're even. But clearly those are two different scales. Besides, ogling isn't the word I would use.
That was different!
I was just trying to buy some lunch. You were in the aisle where my food was. Angeli puts her hand up, saving me from my embarrassing rambling. Mr. Lane has a right to his privacy. You won't go against his wishes, correct? I shrink back, not wanting to disappoint her. I guess. Mr. Lane, I assure you that Lila won't be a problem. She'll aid you to the best of her abilities. You just need to ask.
I don't need a teenage girl in control of my stay.
I'm not a teenager. I'm 22. Dude, I've got a college degree. Because Archer seems like the kind of guy that needs my qualifications to assert that I can do a decent job. Archer begins to laugh and then swipes at his eyes as if drying tears.
Hey!
What's so funny about that?
You were listening to my album on the train.
I feel my face heat up. Did he see me listening to a song? I wasn't even near him. Hey, how did you know that? Archer smirks but doesn't look at me. Archer smirks but doesn't answer me. He definitely saw me on his way out of the train. That has to be it. Angeli steps in front of us. Her arms crossed over her chest. She looks more concerned than angry. How many times have you two run into each other exactly? Twice. He was that guy in the train I was telling you about earlier. Except I didn't know he was Archer Lane because there was a scarf covering his face.
That's the point. I'm in hiding. I want a few weeks to myself without any paparazzi bugging me. If that's going to be a problem, I'll check in somewhere else.
I understand that. If I was a celebrity, I wouldn't want a whole bunch of paparazzi around me when I was trying to take a break. Will it be Lila? What? What will it be? Her stare is fierce, and I look down at my boots. No, I'll be good. Archer waves the paper in the air. So much for some respect.
I'll basically be invisible. You don't have to worry about me. But I need written proof of your intentions.
Makes sense. How do I know that I'm not signing my life away? This whole thing is surreal. Archer Lane is standing right in front of me, but it doesn't feel like I'm looking at a megastar. He just seems like a regular smug dude, minus the non-disclosure agreement he's waving in my face.
You're not, if you follow some simple rules.
I'm giving you my word. Is that not enough? Is that not enough? He cuts me off abruptly, as he seems to have a habit
It's
of doing.
not.
He looks at Angeli, who softens her gaze. I apologize, Mr. Lane. I promise that Lila and I both have your best interest in mind as our guest. Please bring your stuff upstairs. Anyone who doesn't sign your agreement will not have access to you or your room.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
I swear I see a glare shot in my direction. Whatever, Archer. I'm not a fan of yours either. Archer grabs his bags and begins carrying him up the stairs with a little fuss. When he's sure he's out of view, Angeli looks at me with a frown. I grin sheepishly at her, but she's having none of it. Angeli lets out a huff. Don't give Archer a hard time. I'm really not trying to. I'm sorry if it came across that way. I understand that this may be a shock to you. Honestly, I'm shocked too. Archer Lane is staying at my inn. I've never had a prolific guest here before. She steps closer to me and pushes my bangs out of my face gently. I smile weakly at her. I also know that it's a tough time of year with Craig gone, but Archer doesn't know that, so don't take your frustrations out. Don't take your frustrations out on him in the future if you feel upset. I keep forgetting that the world doesn't stop spinning even if it feels like my world has ceased motion sometimes. So you're saying to sign this agreement then? It wasn't my intention not to. I don't know. Honey, I get it, but you have to give Archer a chance. You didn't say it, but I saw by the look on your face that he might not be the ideal guest you were hoping for. This is business. We ignore our feelings of dread. It's just that I'm confused, overwhelmed, and a bit disappointed with the idea of having to work with someone who is so arrogant. That's on me, I guess, not him. He's protecting himself and what he's built. I don't blame him. But the fact of the matter is, Archer is our guest. He will not stay without that agreement being signed. All we have to do is make sure his stay is pleasant. I groan. She's right. It's way too late now for Angeli to get any more customers if we let Archer walk out. Something tells me that even though Riverstone is gorgeous, it isn't bustling with people looking for a place to stay. I'll sign that agreement. It's going to be so annoying to deal with, Angeli. That's my girl. If you just keep being the person that I know you are, you won't have a problem dealing with Archer. I know you mean well. I didn't yell at him. I didn't yell at him. I should get points for that. She lets out a small laugh. This is that game where the points don't matter, Lila. She winks and hands me the thick packet of paper. I pick up a pen from the front desk and sign my name as neatly as I can. I don't want Archer Lane to think I have bad penmanship. I slide the document back to Angeli when it has my name scrawled across it in thin blue ink. Oh my gosh, excuse me. She's a lady. Thank you. Now, why don't you bring this agreement up to Mr. Lane? He's staying in the first room by the top of the steps. I don't know if I want to. Archer seemed to be annoyed by my presence, and if I bring him the document, I'll have to face him again. But if I don't bring him the agreement, what will that show about who I am as a person? I don't know what I should do. Just do it, dude.
Fine.
Fine, but only because I love you. It's also because I know this is something I owe Archer. A peace offering, if I may. Thank you, dear. When you come down, we can hang out and catch up on things. A little. I want to hear all about this movie premiere your mom told me about. I drag my feet to the stairs. Trust me, it's not that exciting. I'm sure it is. Your mother seemed very proud of you when she told me about it over the phone. As moms do, Angeli. I give Angeli a slight nod to let her know that we'll be Why? I give Angeli a slight nod to let her know that we'll continue this conversation if I've survived my time in the Dragon's Den. I love that. I take a minute to admire the decor of the inn. Angeli has done a nice job making it feel homey. I'm surprised Archer hasn't complained about his room being right next to the staircase. Easy access to his belongings or something like that. I roll my eyes just thinking about it. All of a sudden I'm nervous. I know I need to be a big girl, but anxiety creeps in. The door opens and I jump back startled. Archer looks unimpressed as he leans lazily against the doorframe.
Don't look at me like that. I heard you walking up the stairs.
I saw a heart! So that's why you wanted a room near the staircase.
What is it you want? I told you my terms. Until you sign that document, we have nothing to discuss.
I hold the packet out to him. Here it is, Your Highness. I'm at your service, or whatever. Archer has a satisfied smirk on his face. Ugh, I want to punch him so bad, but Angeli might demote me from sister status if I do. I like that. Stupid glasses. Sorry, my glasses have a stupid thing on them. Oh wow, that worked. I'm surprised. Though I do have a crack in it, that's stupid. I Archer has a satisfied smirk on his face. Ugh, I want to punch him so bad, but Angeli might demote me from sister status if I do.
You read it carefully.
I thumbed through it. Does that count? Archer doesn't need to know that. I think he made himself pretty clear with what he expects from me. Yeah, I won't even look at you after this conversation. You leave your dirty sheets or whatever in the hall, and I'll bring the replacement toiletries to your room. Should we have a drop-off service? I just leave them in the hall and knock 3 times. He rolls his eyes.
Smart ass.
Thank you. I get it from my father. I get it from my father. My father. I cannot speak. Archer flips through the packet to make sure I actually gave my signature. His lack of trust is disheartening, but I guess that's the kind of precautions that celebrities have to take. Wow, you're being rude again. Shocking. Is there anything else I can do for you? Bring you a bell?
Actually, yeah. You can help me. I need the Wi-Fi.
I have some bad news. There is barely any service out here, buddy. If you want Wi-Fi, you'll need to hang out in the lobby.
Are you done? I have to unpack.
Rude. Fine, I don't want to be up here anyways. Of course I am,
Didn't
Lane.
your boss ever teach you to be courteous to your guests? It's Mr. Lane or Sir to you.
Mr. Lane or Sir to you. Right. Oh, and Angeli is my sister-in-law. I don't know why I added that extra information in, as Archer doesn't seem to care one bit.
That poor woman. She seems like such a nice lady, too.
Archer doesn't say anything more as he closes the door in my face. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Oh, thanks for the vote of confidence. I shout at the door and hear a grunt in return. I can do this. It's just a few weeks. Downstairs, Angeli is sitting in one of the living chairs near the fireplace. There's a bookshelf behind her packed so tightly that I wonder how hard it will be to dislodge one of the books. Read any of these? I've read a few here and there. It's relaxing to have a good book in your hand. How'd it go upstairs?
Fantastic.
We are really getting along. You know, I might have been wrong about this Archer guy. He seems great.
That bad, huh?
I thought he'd appreciate you bringing the packet to him as a truce. Guess people like him are set in their ways. I wouldn't dwell on it. So tell me about this movie you made. I'm dying to know. I sit down in the chair opposite her. It makes me feel 10 times worse knowing how excited Angeli is to see me succeed. Looking at Archer, a man who is so popular that he has to have just non-disclosure agreements drawn up, reminds me that I'm a nobody. It premiered to a total of 11 people, and the majority of them were friends or family members.
That's a huge accomplishment.
It was at an independent filmmakers festival, correct? Who can say they've done that? All 23 other independent filmmakers, I'm telling you. It wasn't a big deal at all. My movie wasn't even that good. And I'll be the judge of that. What's it about? I'm hesitant to answer, but Angeli has never meant ill will towards me. Well, it's called Snowdrop. It's about this girl who feels trapped where she is. All she wants to do in life is make a difference in the world, but she doesn't know how. Her resources are limited, and the people around her don't seem to care about her dreams. Because of this, she's at her lowest point until she meets someone who inspires her and picks her up off the ground. It sounds like an intriguing plot. Reminds me an awful lot of someone I know. A recent college graduate who doesn't think her parents understand her career in the fine arts. I feel her gaze on me, deep within my soul. Now I'm a bit embarrassed. I didn't know how else to channel my frustrations. I think after watching it, Mom finally understands how passionate I am about making films. I've always fought with my mother on pursuing film in college. She doesn't understand why I would take out student loans to study something that will probably make me little to no money. Angeli and Craig have always supported my dreams, but they weren't the people I was living with and had to face every day. My mother means well. She just wants to make sure that I'll have enough money to support myself. I'm starting to see her fears to become a reality. My first movie didn't make nearly as many waves as I thought it would. To me, it feels like I'm proving her right. On top of everything else in my life, I'm stressing out. Your mother is proud of you, that's for sure. I could hear the exuberance in her voice. You are her everything, Lila. Oh, because Craig is gone. I want to say it, but my better judgment kicks in. I know uttering those words will hurt Angeli, so I keep them to myself, but when Angeli leans in closer to me, I know I don't have to say a word. She's aware of what I'm thinking. The tension in the room is thick. I can't deny that things have changed because of my brother's passing. People treat me differently, my mother especially.
You can't tell me that your mother didn't hold you on a pedestal when Craig was alive. Even if your mother is clinging to you so that she doesn't lose you, it doesn't invalidate her love for you. I'm telling you, Lila, she adores you. She is proud of who you've become. It has nothing to do with your brother.
I really like her voice actor. They did a good job. We hear footsteps and instantly Angeli is standing up, always the perfect host. Archer comes downstairs with his laptop in his hands. I'm relieved to not have to talk about my mother with Angeli.
I feel like I'm interrupting a moment. I don't mean to. I just have to send an email before I disappear off the face of the earth for a few weeks.
When he's talking to Angeli, Archer seems so much more polite. There's a room right behind you that has a desk and some chairs in it, and also a communal kitchen across from it. Either of those rooms gets a strong Wi-Fi signal. He offers only a single word before turning to leave us. Should we offer him some coffee? I guess that's the polite thing to do. My arms feel heavy. I want to curl up into a ball and disappear. Archer didn't dissipate the tension, only pulled my attention away from it for a second. Yeah, it is. Always offer your guest a drink. Angeli begins walking towards the kitchen. Do you want anything to drink, Lila? I'm good. Thanks, though. I walk over to the bookshelf and look at the titles idly. Angeli has a lot of detective fiction and romance novels on the shelf. A weird combination. As I wait for her, I pull a book off the shelf. Love in Arms by some author I've never heard of. The woman looks like an independent author, as the cover of the book has a signature and a thank you note scrawled across the front page. I flip through the book aimlessly until I see the words, "For you, always." They catch my eyes because they're highlighted in a fluorescent yellow and underlined in red. Angeli has definitely read this before. Those words must mean something to her. That was a good book. I jump when I hear her voice. You scared the crap out of me. Angeli is standing behind me with 2 mugs overflowing with whipped cream. I take it Archer wanted a drink? Yeah, and he thanked me 3 times before I left. I think he regrets his first impression. I'm astounded. I could barely get the guy to talk to me with civility for 5 seconds, and here Angeli has coaxed him out of his lair with the promise of a hot beverage. I told him he could sit down here with us for a bit. It's getting dark out, so I don't imagine either you or him wanting to head outside. Is he actually going to? You can ask him yourself when he's finished sending his email. I pull my knees up to my chest and bury my face into them. Well, this is going to be an interesting few weeks. That concludes the demo of Snowdrop. Thank you for playing. For more information on the official release, please follow us on Twitter. Okay, that's cool. That's the demo. Now. Okay. Boop boop. 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 Also forgot Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! Oh, I'm out of water. Okay, I'll be right back. I totally forgot that was still the demo. I needed to install the full game. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. come back to life. And I have a full water bottle. Let's go. Heck. It's being stupid. Okay, I'm back. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hey. I'm gonna
Let's begin.
start. I don't want to not, you know, see anything. Just skipping. They usually don't let you skip the scene text, so tell the truth. Cafe.
Fine.
Excuse me. I was promised the full game. Hold on. I think something went wrong. Hold on. Instead of the itch.io launcher that sucks, I'm gonna install it from actual site. See if that works, because sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. It's annoying. Sorry about the wait. I didn't realize that it wasn't the full game that I reinstalled on the launcher. Supposedly reinstalled. So mean. I thought it was strange that my saves were still there. Okay. Sorry. I'm a mess. I don't know why. Okie dokie. I had to respond to some of my friend's text, so. Because I'm a good friend. Or I'm just a pushover, one of those two. Yeah, they just don't have the saves. Yep, I broke it. Yep, I broke it. It crashed. That's funny. Well, good thing I know where it is. There we go. Again, sorry for the wait.
Let's begin.
Let's begin. Oh, wait. Good. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Yes, yes. I don't want to see a whole bunch of stuff that I already saw before. Ah, love that song. I'm not a big fan of auto-tune either, so I don't blame her.
We are now arriving in Riverzone. Please exit the train, as this is our last stop.
Nice. Tell the truth. I love that sound. Hello, by the way. I'm just skipping through a whole bunch of dialogue that I've already done because, well, that we've already done because, it's, you know. I'm gonna do, real quick. Stop skipping it. Let's do that. Alright, there we go.
Fine.
Not because I love you. It's also because...
What is it?
I love the little heart thing. It's so cute. Okay. Oh wait, I'm gonna go to...
Thanks.
the book. I'm sorry if I like skipped over new dialogue. If I did, please let me know. But I hate reading dialogue over and over again. It's... I mean... yeah. I think anyone enjoys it. I don't want to hear her voice. You scared the crap out of me. Angeli is standing standing beside me with 2 mugs overflowing with whipped cream. I take it Archer wanted a drink? Yeah, and he thanked me 3 times before I left. I think he regrets his first impression. Ow. I don't get it. I'm astounded. It's fine, do what you like. Thank you. I'm astounded. I could barely get the guy to talk to me civilly for 5 seconds, and here Angeli has coaxed him out of his lair with the promise of a hot beverage. I told him he could sit down here with us for a bit. It's getting dark out, so I don't imagine either you or him wanting to head outside. Is he actually going to? You can ask him yourself when he's finished sending his email. I pull my knees up to my chest and bury my face into them. Well, this is going to be an interesting few weeks. Speaking of Archer, he walks in as if on cue, with his arms crossed over his chest. Turning to Angeli, he nods appreciatively. Oh, by the way, Nero, how are you doing? Thank you for your hospitality. Her smile is laced with sincerity. Ugh, the 2 of them are so cordial to each other. It's like they're at some kind of party that I'm not invited to. Of course. Here, I've brought you some hot chocolate with whipped cream. Please do consider sitting with us, or you can make yourself at home in one of the back rooms. I seem to have a decent internet connection in the room I was in. I'd like to stream a movie, so I might just stay back there. Thank you for your offer. Angeli hands Archer his drink. He takes a large sip of it before thanking Angeli again for the kindness and concern. Not once does he look at me. We need to hang out more and VR chat. Yes, we do. He takes a large sip of it before thanking Angeli again for the kindness and concern. Not once does he look at me, which is fine, I guess. I didn't exactly come out here to impress the likes of him. Yet, I feel bad. Wait, why do I feel bad about his rejection? I think I need to clear my head. I don't need his approval. What am I thinking? You like him. You like him, you know it. Actually, I think I'm going to head to bed too, if that's alright. It's kind of late. I stretch my arms over my head and let out a large yawn. Maybe it's the warm atmosphere in this room, but I want to cuddle up under a large blanket and write. I say my goodbye to Angeli, but only give Archer a slight nod that he doesn't acknowledge. It still feels kind of sucky. But whatever, I guess. That's not something I can fix overnight. Tomorrow is another day, and hopefully it's full of rainbows, butterflies, and whatever else is supposed to represent happiness. Sparkles! My bed is wonderful. I've cuddled up under a big blanket with my laptop and perched comfortably on my lap. I began typing. I'm not incredibly inspired, but I've been in the habit of writing daily. It helps me get the word count I'd like, and then I edit all of the jumble when the story is done. Tonight, I only get a few words in before I put my laptop to the side. My thoughts keep returning to everything that's happened today. Archer Lane. I wasn't really being unreasonable earlier when I interacted with him, was I? I mean, why else would he be giving me the cold shoulder? I'm not the picture-perfect image of hospitality like Anjali is, and I understand that. It's just harder for me to be so calm, collected, and cheerful. I can't ignore the burden of the past on my shoulders like Anjali can. I don't mean to wallow, I guess I can worry about the whole thing tomorrow. I'm awoken from my peaceful slumber by the sound of the phone ringing. It's not my cell phone, but the... Dude, you scared the crap out of me. You want out, baby? Hold on. The cat wants out. Come on. You dare skip any dialogue. Come on. Where'd you go? Oh. New phone, who dis? Yep. At first I try to ignore it, but the ringing is incessant, so I have no choice but to drag myself out of bed. The floor is ice cold. I remember Anjali telling me that Riverstone can get absolutely frigid. Right now I want to curl up in my blanket and close my eyes, but that won't get the phone ringing, right? That won't get the phone to stop ringing, will it? Hello? I'm sure that I'm slurring my words as I adjust to the real world. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Anjali sure is chipper this morning. Morning. The bed was comfy. I'd actually like to sleep more, though. No can do, cadet. I need you down here at the barracks. At the mention of the word cadet, my chest tightens. Craig and I used to play soldier all the time. He was the energetic sergeant, and I his unwilling pledge. He used the title of cadet when referring to me because he saw it in some movie once, and admitted one day when we were both much older that he thought it'd make me more willing to participate in his training regimens. I'm sure Anjali knows this. This reminder of Craig is also a reminder that I'm not the only one hurting. One of us is just better at holding herself together than the other. But I shouldn't let small triggers ruin my day. Craig would not want that. Lila? I've been silent for too long. Oops. Sorry, it might be the connection. You want me there now? In a bit. I'm making breakfast in the kitchen. Will you be joining me? Oh, I can join you. That'd be really nice. I'm hungry. Okay, great. Come on over. After we eat, I'll show you what you have to do today. Okay, see you soon. Anjali and I say our goodbyes before I hang up. It will be nice to eat with her. I haven't had the chance to do that in a long time. I never one-on-one like this. I think we've all been avoiding each other. Excuse me, jeez. Anjali, my mother and I. It's just a hunch, but I think Anjali's decision to stay out here on her own has to do with her honoring Craig's wishes for the future. Riverstone is only a few hours away, and Anjali never comes to visit us. We don't leave the city to see her either. What does that say about us? We're not bad people. I know deep down in my heart that at least she and my mom aren't. Maybe Anjali doesn't want to see my mother the way she is now. Frankly, I don't want to either. I promised myself that this wouldn't be a trip about Craig. At the very least, I shouldn't be spending my first day of work full of melancholy. I need to lighten up. Today, I feel like wearing something simple. I quickly get dressed and head over to the Red Turtleneck Inn. I pass through the empty lobby and a sudden realization hits me. It really is only me, Anjali, and Archer in this place. I'm not used to the peaceful energy. Everything is so high-strung back home in the city. I'm careful to be quiet so that my footsteps won't wake the angry beast upstairs. It's too early to deal with his smart mouth. Angeli has her back to me when I first enter the small room. She looks hard at work. I fight back the thoughts from earlier that are resurfacing. Morning. Angeli looks up at me with a sweet smile, unbothered by my thoughts. Then I remember that I haven't voiced them, thankfully. Just in time. Last night after you left I wasn't tired, so I made some paratha. I just reheated it for our breakfast. Yes, I love your paratha. And I love your paratha, Angeli. Thank you. Angeli brings the flattened bread over to me. It smells really good. My mother taught me how to make this, so you should be thanking her. She places a piece from the top of the stack onto a plate and slides the porcelain across the table to me. I grab a seat and wait for her to sit down across from me. I made this at least twice a week for your brother. I nod as I take a bite. I can see why Craig liked this dish so much. It's simple yet delicious. The flaky texture and warm temperature makes it easy to scarf one piece down and reach for another. Food. Food is a good distraction. So good. You're making me hungry. Dude, why? I'm glad you're enjoying it. I munch happily as Angeli begins to explain today's duties. First and foremost, Mr. Lane is your top priority because he's a guest at the inn. The customers are always first. You can check the hallway for any dirty linen. Then, of course, ask if there's anything you can do for him should you two make contact. He's expressed his desire for his privacy, so keep your distance unless he initiates the meeting. So basically just go upstairs and see if Archer left anything in the hall, drop off some fresh toiletries and then avoid him. Can do. What's next? When everything's said and done, I need you to do inventory. You'll note how much of each supply this inn is stocked with, and then together we'll purchase the necessary supplies. After that, if it seems like Archer isn't in need of anything, you're free to take off early and do as you please. Okay, I can manage that. There's a festival coming up on Saturday. I'm going to give you the day off. Just make sure you finish everything we set out to do. Sweet, what kind of festival is it? Riversone's own snow festival. You can eat delicious food and all sorts of activities. It's really a good time. You can't miss it. Are you going to come with me? I usually hang around a bit if I can get someone to watch the inn. Usually we have guests, so we can't just lock it up. I can watch the hotel. You go and have fun. Absolutely not. I go every year. I can miss it once. Besides, I don't know if I like the prospect of you and Archer alone together. Hey, what do you mean by that? I'm just not too sure what to expect, is all. You know he doesn't like me, don't you? She hides her smile behind her hand, but then quickly shakes her head and tries to look natural. It's only been one day. He hasn't got to know the real you. First impressions aren't everything, you know. It's okay, Angeli. I'm a big girl. I know people don't have to like me. Let's change the subject, though. Fine, I really think you'll enjoy the snow festival, so I want you to go. Angeli seems adamant about this and will not take no for an answer. It must be really... What? I'm sorry. It must be a really fun time. So it's only right that she goes and has fun, too. We can split the day. I can go at night. How long is the festival? It's the entire weekend, so we can worry about it when the time arrives. For now, I should finish the task at hand, right? Well, if you've finished your breakfast, it isn't a bad idea. I stand up. Point taken. Angeli begins cleaning up and gently pushes me away when I try to help. Go and get a small bottle of conditioner, shampoo, some toilet paper, and toilet towels from this room across the hall. Excuse me. Once I have everything, I make my way upstairs. I'm planning a stealthy drop-off and pick-up. Archer won't even know I've been up there. I quietly make my way up the stairs, which isn't too hard if I take one step at a time. When I reach the top, it's as simple as placing the stuff gently against the wall. There's nothing outside the door, which just tells me that Archer is probably sleeping in. Perfect. I turn to leave when a loud noise jolts me out of my peaceful silence. My phone begins ringing uncontrollably. I fumble to stop. Thomas DeLuca's gorgeous voice is rating me. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I forgot to turn off my alarm when Anjali called me this morning. I was planning on waking up later. I finally get the song to stop playing, but the damage has already been done. Oof, he's mad. A disheveled but fully dressed pop star opens the door and is glaring at me as if I had been sent by Satan himself to smite the singer. You disturb me with Thomas DeLuca of all things? Really? You're seriously not the person I want to be dealing with this early. A simple thank you would have done fine. I point to the toiletries and towels I've brought up for him. Archer rolls his eyes and crosses his arms over his chest. Come on, is a thank you really that hard? He can't be this rude, can he? Jerk. I can't thank a DeLuca fan. Honestly, I'm not even surprised you like him. What is that supposed to mean? He's mediocre. Like, are you implying that I'm mediocre? Did he say that? He didn't have to. Let's get this off the table. Thomas DeLuca has good music. His album TDL has some of the best lyrics I've ever seen and is heard, and his voice is not hidden behind all the production that Archer uses on his tracks. Archer doesn't apologize. Instead, he begins berating me again. You were to drop off the necessities without bothering me. I was trying, but then you opened the door and started talking to me about my alarm. Your alarm? You've got to be kidding me. He takes in a large breath. I don't understand you. He gently pushes me to the side and walks into the hallway. The door makes a loud click as it shuts. What are you doing? Leaving, so don't touch my stuff. I want to yell at him and say that I'm legally barred from even entering his room, but instead I'm too dumbfounded by the fact that this guy put his hands on me and literally moved me out of his way. Ugh, I stopped myself from yelling at him when I pictured Anjali's disappointed face. This is going to be a reoccurring thing with you, isn't it? You just stand there and stare at me? I ignore his comment. Your toiletries. That's all I can muster, despite wanting to say so much more. They're not going anywhere. I'll be back. He actually waves me off and bounds down the stairs with the energy of someone who has just heard some really good news. I have no choice but to follow him. The rest of the day's duties are downstairs. Okay, Mr. Lane, do enjoy your day. I just catch Angeli waving at Archer as he walks out of the inn. Who knows where he's even going. Everything went well, Cadet? I'm snapped out of my daze. Aye, aye, ma'am. My hand flies up to my forehead. That's a pirate, but I'll take it. Next up is stock inventory. It's a little boring, but it'll go by quickly with the two of us. After a few hours, the inventory is finally done. What a drag. Alright, you're free to do as you please. I think food is a good idea. Can't leave the inn unattended, but you can check out the town a bit. You haven't seen it all, I'm sure. She holds her hand up in front of me as if to stop me. And before we say anything, no, I don't mind. Go ahead and have fun. I was hoping I could eat here, actually. I want to hang out outside of the inn. It's quite beautiful. I really just want to hang out with her and catch up. We missed out on a lot of time together, and we both know better than anyone that we have to take advantage of what we have. That's a good idea. Let me whip something up for us. It's so peaceful out here on the back porch of the inn. There are a few tables and chairs spread about the wood deck. Beyond that is the most amazing view of any backyard I've ever been in. I forget my burdens as I stare into the flowers that are surprisingly in bloom. Riverstone is a beautiful place, and I'm surprised that more people are not clamoring to be out here, especially during the holiday season. It's going to snow soon. I finished chewing and placed my turkey sandwich back onto my plate. Turkey sandwich. Angeli added a bit of fresh mozzarella and tomatoes, and it tastes amazing. She has a knack for cooking that I don't think I will ever be able to compete with. How can you tell? It usually happens around the time of the festival, hence the name, the Snow Festival. Yep, exactly. I feel the cold wind caress my face. I'm consumed by the flawless images of nature I see around me. Life is in every leaf and every blade of grass. With life comes hope. There are things out in the world I just can't explain. Life is precious. $1 for your thoughts? Huh? Oh, Angeli. For a second I forget where I am. A smile dances on my face. Angeli never says penny. She always tells me that my thoughts are worth so much more than a single cent. The $1 is to entice, then you charge more. She always says that my thoughts are worth an incredible amount. She has an interesting outlook on life. Angeli wasn't born and raised in America. She's originally from Pakistan, where her father owned a small business and her mother took care of the finances. She's one of 2 children who have left their homeland for better educational opportunities. In a cramped classroom with more students than desks, Angeli met my brother, Craig, Craig was smiling behind the cover of an overpriced calculus textbook when he saw her enter the room, or at least that's the way he always so fondly told their love's origin story. I just love it out here, being from the city. The most foliage you see in one place is in someone's backyard or a park. The open wilderness is so much different. I feel so relaxed. So much more different? So much different? So much more different. I think it's more different. Yes, living in the big city and commuting always felt like it's such a drag to me. Being out here with nature is what I live for. I'd like to take Marina out in this huge open space. Aw, How is the little girl? Not so little anymore, she's like 35 pounds. I reach into my jacket pocket for my phone so I can show Angela a picture of my dog, but when the smartphone is in my hands, I start to think of Archer and his scowl from this morning. Hey, do you know who Thomas DeLuca is? She ponders the name for a minute as my heart drops into my stomach. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, it's strange. My gut is telling me he's a singer. Your gut would be right, he's fairly new on the scene, but he's really good. So, what about him? I think about telling her what happened earlier with Archer, but decide against it. It isn't important, and Angela might just tell me to be nice or something. I know it's the right thing to do, but sometimes I can't help myself. I was just wondering, I like his music a lot. I'm curious to know if you're a fan of Archer's music. Personality aside, is that the kind of music you like? I feel silly asking that. I know that I should know, but there's no reason for you to have known. It's been a while. A silent remark of forgiveness. I don't want her to feel as if we're 2 worlds away. I'm not his biggest fan. I think his music can be fun to listen to sometimes, but there's something missing. I don't know, it's kind of generic. I think he courses through with his looks mostly. He is quite attractive. Angela winks at me and I roll my eyes. Perfect for a single lady like you. Ew, no. Just no. Angela laughs slightly, but shakes her head. If fame is hard to deal with, celebrities aren't your thing, what is? I pause for a moment to think. It doesn't much matter to me the kind of person I date. As long as they're passionate about something and they treat me right. I just want to be loved like Craig loved Angela. I'm not really looking right now. Instead of telling her what I'm thinking, I shut the conversation down. Love is something I'm not opposed to. Sometime down the line, I'm sure I'll be open to it. Instead of telling her what I'm thinking, blah 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 blah. I already read that, dum-dum. Right now, I'm having a hard time imagining myself committed fully to another person. I have too much of my own life that I need to figure out. And you have no reason to be. I was just curious. I'd tell you if I had my eye on a handsome gentleman, but I don't. Right now, I want to make sure Mom is okay. Then I can worry about having another person in my life. Even coming out here was hard. Part of me was afraid to leave her on her own. This trip will do you both good. I really hope so. When we're done eating, Angela insists I take a walk around Riverstone, so I decide to visit a park where I can sit down and get some writing done. I need a new idea. I'm really intrigued with the idea of a character modeled after Archer. But I know for a fact that violates the terms of staying at the inn. The idea, though, won't leave my head. Famous pop star at a small inn in the mountains. All I have to do is give the character some motivations that are deeper than just hiding from paparazzi. Writing this script would be such a great outlet because I feel like I'd be able to insert some of myself in there. The famous pop star in my story would be running away from something like I am. They could be using the solitude to try to sort themselves out. The more I toss the idea around in my head, the more I like it. Though I have to throw this one in the trash bin, at least for now. I can't really afford giving my life savings to Archer in some kind of settlement case. My fingers begin to feel numb. I have been typing for at least 20 minutes, and the cold is finally catching up to me. I'm sitting on a bench in a mostly vacant park. There's someone clearing out the trash bins, but besides that, it's just me out here. Don't worry, Nero, you're safe. I didn't mean it. Well, it is a Tuesday afternoon. Everyone must still be at work and school. Plus, it is rather chilly out. Maybe people are indoors by the fire. Maybe people? Or many people? Rubbing my hands together generates some warmth. It's not a lot, but probably enough for me to keep brainstorming. I now have an elderly woman character with a fleshed out backstory. Information broker hiding behind the guise of a widowed and grumpy old woman who preys on young girls for their bad manners. That woman on the train won't sue me. Probably. Now all I need is conflict. Is she lonely? Or maybe it's something different. She has no money left, but wants to quit her dangerous job. Oh, or a hitman is after her. Ugh, it's no use. The footsteps approaching weren't loud, but for some reason I can't focus when I hear them. For a second I see blonde hair poking out from the bottom of a beige beanie. Archer! He doesn't seem to recognize me. The man is in his own little world as he walks through the park. What do I do? Should I say hello or try to avoid him? It wouldn't hurt to be polite. I know Angeli will appreciate me trying my best. Besides, if I'm a tad bit nicer to Archer, he may be a tad bit nicer to me. That will make my job less painful. As Archer passes by me, I wave. I think he notices it because he nods my direction. No look of annoyance or anything. Is that a score for me? I wait for him to pass me by nonchalantly, but it doesn't go on his way. He keeps walking towards me. Oh no, what have I done? Yay, I made a right decision. I think. In a matter of seconds, Archer is standing above me. Still no malice on his features. I wave again. He doesn't ask me to move over. He just sits down in the empty spot next to me. What are you doing out here? Don't you have a job to do? Not when you're my only client. I point at my laptop. I'm writing something. I'm not gonna ask. Of course not. Why are you talking to me anyways? No, why are you talking to me anyways? Is this some kind of prank? Archer came up to me to strike up a conversation. He waved me down. I'm waving to be polite. So are you saying that you don't want to talk to me? His cocky grin makes me sick to my stomach. Who the hell does he think he is? Archer Lane. That's right, I almost forget for a minute that he's Power Magazine's most successful male singer of 2018. I don't know why I said that I did that. Oh wait, no, I know why. It's because I hadn't swallowed in a while, so. Archer isn't some regular guy strolling through the park, and he keeps reminding me of that. What's the answer that you're looking for? No use arguing with him. I've known people like him all my life. Good-looking and successful people want recognition of their skills and beauty. I don't really have the energy to goad anyone's ego right now. I'm not looking for an answer. Which begs my original question. Are you talking to me? I shut my laptop and twist my body to get a better look at him. Archer looks calmer than yesterday, serene almost. I figure that if I'm going to be seeing you every day, it would behoove me to know a little bit about you. Can't help but question his intentions. Didn't he say that he didn't want me doing anything out of his agreement? Is he just trying to scope me out to see who is working with him? I suppose that makes sense. You don't want some stalker going through your stuff, right? Why do you insist upon putting words in my mouth? Did I say any of that? No, but given our past interactions, you've done nothing but lead to that claim, so forgive me if I'm inclined to believe that. I feel that I need to match his formal language. He only laughs, though. 1. Stop talking like that. It doesn't suit you. 2. You signed the agreement. It's over with. That's supposed to be his dialogue, by the way. I don't think it's supposed to make it look like it's just our thoughts. If you go into my stuff, I'll have my attorney deal with it. I'm not concerned about that anymore. I'm really just talking to you. Maybe my confusion is written on my face because he frowned suddenly. I'm abrasive at times, I'm aware of that, but am I not reasonable? I simply shrug. I don't have an answer for him. Rather, I don't have one he'll like. It's too early to pass a judgment like that. I barely know the guy. Maybe I just don't grasp what it's like to be you. I don't quite think I understand you either. You're a strange one. So I've been told by tons of strangers. You wouldn't be the first. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I didn't say that it was. I kicked my feet in the dirt. Our conversation has distracted me from the cold for a few minutes, but now I feel tingling in my toes as they freeze. No matter. We'd better get inside somewhere. Your teeth are chattering. He stands up and offers me his hand. Totally uncharacteristic of the man I spoke to this morning. I don't take it. Instead, I place my laptop in its case and stand up on my own. I don't want him thinking that I'm like everyone else. He can't just be nice to me for 5 seconds, having ignored my presence thus far. He needs to know that that his actions hurt. I think I'm going to head back to the inn. Archer retracts his hand, and for a second I think I see a slight frown. If it was there, it's now masked by his usual unimpressed expression. Suit yourself. He slightly lowers his head. A gesture just... I need to stop trying to talk so fast. He slightly lowers his head, a gesture to signify goodbye, and walks away from me. Some kind of progress has been made between us. Whether it's good or bad, I don't really seem to know. What I do know is that Archer Lane is just a client I'm supposed to attend. I don't, for a second, buy his sudden niceness, or rather what he considers to be niceness. I can't stop thinking about Archer. Where does a famous celebrity go for fun, especially in a small town like this? The thought of some kind of second life is exhilarating. Archer is a celebrity posing as a regular person. There's more to it than that. There's got to be. He must do this often for no one to even bat an eyelash. There's got to be more than just the big scarf and hat that keeps his identity hidden. He's a pro, and there's a story behind that, too. If I could just understand his motivations, I could write a compelling character. I try to squash that thought. Better leave before it gets too late. No use spending all my time out here thinking about Archer. I dry my hair off with a towel and throw it up into my usual messy bun. There's not much to do tonight. Angeli has some paperwork to fill out, and I don't think Archer needs my help with anything. A hot shower has warmed me right up, and now I want to do something relaxing. Excuse me. Hey there, Bragg. It has been a while. I hope you're doing well. When I'm in a creative rut, I watch movies to see how other filmmakers have accomplished their goals. It's inspiring, so I'm always watching movies. Now that I'm away from the city for a bit, I really want to focus on my future, and that includes coming out with some independent films of my own. I leave the bathroom in search of my laptop and a comfy pair of sweats. I'll be sitting in the lobby of the inn, so I don't need an extravagant outfit. Just playing Red Dead Redemption 2. That's cool. But I don't want to wear my pajamas in case Archer's roaming about. That would be totally embarrassing. I stretch my legs out across the floor. Angeli has lit the fireplace and brought me a thick comforter and fluffy pillow before returning to what she was doing. She says something about sending out emails. I've made myself a comfortable setup. This is what I call relaxation. What should I watch? A love story, a drama, a comedy? All three? Ooh, maybe a mystery. If I can only get this Wi-Fi to connect. After a few minutes of fumbling, I let a frustrated cry. It's no use, the connection's weak. You sound like a dying animal. Are you alright? My heart skips a beat. The prince has arrived to ruin my night, and he scared the crap out of me. I was just trying to stream a movie, but the Wi-Fi signal is weak today. I look up at Archer to see a disheveled man, his wet hair sticking to his face, his beanie and scarf are lying on the lobby desk behind him, and there are 3 plastic bags that he's placed on the floor beside him, yet he's asking if I'm alright. Do you need a towel or something? Remember that it's my job to make sure Archer is enjoying his stay, even if that means getting up out of my comfy seat. Yeah, please. Okay. I get up off the floor and head towards the supply closet where Angeli holds the towels. When I return, Archer is sitting on one of the chairs looking down at his phone. I toss the towel to him, which he is able to catch effortlessly. Thank you. He moves to dry his hair as I awkwardly sit in the chair next to him. What should I do now? It's snowing out. Thankfully, Archer breaks the silence because I have no idea what to say. That would make sense. I motion to the towel in his hands. It must be a heavy downfall for him to be soaked like that. Angeli told me that it usually snows around the time of the snow festival. It must be a holiday magic. I'm tiptoeing with my words around Archer. He hasn't insulted me yet, and I don't want to shatter this calmness. Archer scoffs. Holiday magic? You don't actually believe in that, do you? Despite how badly the holidays can be for my family sometimes, yeah, I do. Anything to help me get by. Why not? You might be in the wrong place. You might be in the wrong place. This whole town seems to believe in it. You can't walk a block without seeing a candy cane or something. I'm not a Scrooge, but holidays have become about spending and making money. There's no magic in that. In the big cities, maybe, but I don't really get that vibe here. You should go to the town festival this weekend to change my mind. Actually, that's why I'm going there too. I wonder if there's a chance of changing Archer's mind. He has Christmas albums, and I've seen him in holiday-themed commercials on television. It would make sense if that's all a ploy for money. In that case, I can see how he would hate the holidays. Everything he does is probably to sell himself to the public. It suddenly occurs to me. Is that why you're out here on your own with no publicist or anything? I regret my decision the minute I see Archer's face twists in anger. I place my hands up in front of me. Forget I asked. You didn't read the agreement. I did. All of it? Even page 7, section C? You didn't read it. It was really long, and non-disclosure agreements are self-explanatory, aren't they? You're insufferable. The agreement concludes with the statement that you will not ask any questions about my personal life. Can you even do that? Is that legal? Sorry I asked then. Then there was the end of it. Almost golden conversation. Alright. I can't get any Wi-Fi either, and I don't want to bother your aunt. Did you just change the subject like nothing happened? She's my sister-in-law, actually. Archer's a confusing person. I can't tell if he hates me or not. At times, he's tolerable. Others, not so much. I've completely forgotten about my novels, so rip me. Yikes. Archer fishes in one of his bags until he finds what he's looking for. He holds up an old DVD and cracks a small smile. Got this bad boy for a steal. Good riddance, Old King? Dude, that movie is terrible. What? I don't mind that the movie was filmed in the 70s. I appreciate the camera angles, but the script itself is so cheesy. No, you're not watching it the right way. It's meant to be cheesy. It's 70s comedy at its best. Put your mind at that time. As Archer talks about the film, I notice the corners of his lips turning it up into a vibrant smile. He's a big fan of the movie. It seems like he's forgotten all about his outburst a minute ago. Another side of Archer, this one much more relaxed. How many sides are there? Do I even want to know? Here goes nothing. I'm going to ask him if he wants to watch the movie with me since there's nothing else to do. I hope that's acceptable to him. Maybe we can watch it? I held my breath. Oh, Lila, why would you ask that? I expect Archer to get up angrily, but he doesn't. It's not like there's anything else I planned on doing tonight. Can we use your laptop? I nod, completely dumbfounded. The Archer from this morning is gone, and his place is either a really good actor or someone who isn't a complete jerk after all. Archer places the disc into the CD tray of my laptop and starts the movie up. The over-the-top theme music plays, and I can't help but roll my eyes. It's so good. Archer himself is a little over the top, so this doesn't surprise me one bit. He begins humming along to the opening theme and jumps his finger across his thighs. I watch him carefully. Suddenly, I don't want to watch this movie anymore. I can't shake the feeling of apprehension. I'm afraid to say anything that might get him angry. To me, Archer is the perfect mystery. He's full of intrigue, yet I want to not be so interested in his personality shifts. They're more than just his private versus public self being on display. Ever since that incident on the train, I've been thinking about his story. I want to tell it. Not Archer Lane's life, but the life of the man sitting next to me right now. The storyline can't get stupider because I keep accidentally pushing the enter button. The storyline won't get more honest than that. But then I feel bad. It's a bit like exploitation, isn't it? I don't know if my desire to see into his world is just my cinematic lens talking, if it's because of the novelty hanging out with a celebrity, or if it's me genuinely wanting to hang out with the guy. It dawns on me why he's so guarded, and I hate myself for not seeing it sooner. He's Archer freaking Lane. His public self overtakes his private self. I have the luxury of going home after a long day and being an English face among many. I don't have to watch what I say, or go to the extremes that he does. I can simply sit down and watch a movie like this at home. Seeing how excited he is watching this movie, I wonder if he really even gets to enjoy it in his private sphere. I feel even worse now. I'm not justifying his callous attitude, but it makes sense. People want to exploit him, even if they don't quite realize it themselves. Prepare to be dethroned. Archer is imitating the man in the movie, obviously forgetting I'm here. He moves his arms in a grandiose fashion, only laughing when he catches my eye. Watch this, it's the best part. The man on the screen, Sir William Dansky, stumbles on his lines and fails to deliver his punchline correctly. It isn't 70s comedy, it's just a low-budget movie. The jokes are terrible and the shoddy acting isn't intentional. The actors are simply amateurs. The room fills with the sound of Archer's laughter. It's contagious and the laughter leaps out of me. Told you it's good. I wouldn't say that, but okay. Besides the jokes, what's so bad about it? The dialogue isn't as witty as you think it is. Not to mention the acting is just plain bad. I want to say more, but I stop myself. We're never going to be on the same page, are we? I shake my head. Archer and I are in two different books completely. I like that. Two different books completely. He's an anthology and I'm a simple chapter book. I suppose not, but from two different worlds. Archer is silent. His gaze is on the screen of my laptop. Even now, with us sitting together, he feels untouchable. We're both from planet Earth. We're both human. Archer's tone is serious. That's not what I meant. You made it clear the minute you walked in this lobby that you're a big celebrity, and I am that weird girl from the train who happens to also be a hotel worker. Don't forget about the overzealous girl who followed me in the supermarket. Point is, we're not on a level playing field. Celebrities aren't their own species. We're people too. People don't make other people sign non-disclosure agreements. Should I explain to you again why that agreement is important? I didn't have you sign it to avoid having to see you. It's a safety measure. I know that, but still. There's an undeniable distance between Archer and I, regardless of his agreement. I held up two fingers. Two different worlds, buddy. Just accept it. Archer opens his mouth to say something when Angela enters the room with a smile. She must be done with her work. Are you two playing nice? Startled, I nod as quickly as I can. Archer is much more nonchalant, for the most part. Very good. She peers at the laptop screen and gives me a thumbs up. Is that good riddance, old king? What a good movie. Archer taps my arm softly. When he has my attention, he motions to Angela appreciatively. See? It's a good movie. To our, or at least my, commoner tastes, Lila is a film connoisseur. She premiered her own movie at a film festival. I can feel my face pale. Angela, no, I'm so embarrassed. She's telling a man who has appeared in many movies himself that I'm some kind of big shot. All I did was show my work in some small independent movie festival in New York and fail. Is that so? Nothing compared to you, O Great One. Archer looks angry at what I said. Can't you be serious for 1 second? The film festival is a big accomplishment. It's your future. I lower my eyes at Archer. He's right, and it's definitely the validation I need, but I just don't understand this man. Why does he care? I shrink away from his attention. My film career is still a sore spot for me. Well, you know, it's getting kind of late. I should head to bed. I stand up and dust off my pants. I can watch the rest of the movie on my own laptop. I eject the disc from my computer and hand it back to a disgruntled Archer. I didn't mean to sound rude, but it comes out that way. What was it Angela said yesterday? Not everyone understands the hasty nature of a New Yorker. I have to be more patient with Arthur. But, Archer, that's going to take us some learning. For now, I don't want to talk to Archer about my failure of a creative career. I turn to Angeli. Need help closing up? I've got it. She's frowning, but I don't want to divulge so much information to a man whom I will never see again. Why does he need to know? It is the kind of information I discuss with a friend, considering how close to home Snowdrop is to me. Archer and I aren't exactly best friends. Not to mention, I don't want to come across as a person looking for doors to be opened for them. Archer more than likely has connections in the film industry. He made it abundantly clear yesterday that this morning I should not cross his boundaries. The last thing I need for him to think is that I'm trying to use him. Good night, Archer. Night, Lila. The annoyance from mere seconds ago is replaced with a tone of dejection and then a look of realization that spreads across his face. I leave with a heavy heart, but I don't fully understand why. I want to get to know him, but I also know it probably isn't possible. Okay, this is a perfect place to go to the bathroom. Well, not obviously. I'm not talking about my room. My room is not a perfect place to go to the bathroom, but this is a perfect spot in the thing to go to the bathroom. I'm so sorry. Everyone, go to the bathroom, get some popcorn, get some soda. I don't know. Just get something to help. I don't know. Sorry about that. I wake up to the sound of my own alarm, which startles me because I've grown accustomed to Angeli's early morning wake-up calls. Wait, didn't... Why did it do that? Oh, it said the dialogue. Okay. That confused me for a second. I'm stupid. I checked the time. 9 a.m. She let me sleep in. Oh, that's right. Today's the snow festival, and I get the day off. Not having to deal with Archer's superiority complex this morning, which I'm super thrilled about. It's like these past few days, Archer has forgotten about our movie night. He has gone back to treating me as cold as ice. I pay it no mind. It makes more sense to me this way. He is the unruly client, and I am the indifferent worker. Yet, Archer accepted my offer to watch a movie. Why? I keep telling myself that if I can crack that small code, I'll be so much closer to writing a better script. It's all about life experiences, my film professor used to say. Even if it's a fictional story, a good screenwriter always puts what they've experienced in their script. It's why we can relate to even the most absurd movies. Is a guy like Archer the conflict I need? And if so, is it worth embracing? Because of his non-disclosure agreement, I have so much at stake. What's most important to me? I guess it doesn't matter much, considering I'll probably never have the opportunity to show a more appreciative and lucrative audience one of my films. It's a stupid idea anyway, throwing myself headfirst into my future career without even fixing the problem I'm facing in the present. Having a good movie isn't going to change anything at all. My world isn't going to magically make sense if I'm successful. No, I'm looking in the wrong place for my answers. Who cares about Archer's motivations? Who cares about some stupid movie? That's not why I'm here to begin with. I am dressed by the time I finish my inner monologue. I am more than ready and excited to go to the snow festival. I push the negative thoughts out of my mind and gleefully head out into the snowfall. Possibly a snow overlay? Snow pelts my face. I love being out here on this bustling street. It certainly feels like all of Riverstone is at the snow festival. I see children excitedly tugging on their parents' coats, dogs patiently waiting at their owner's sides, and couples, both old and young, holding hands. I don't know what to do first. Maybe I can buy Angeli something as a thank you for letting me stay with her at Red Turtleneck Inn. Whether she realizes it or not, she's been more than helpful to me. Angeli offered her place to me in her own time of need, and putting herself aside for my well-being shows what kind of person she really is. Every day I see why Craig fell for her. Through it all, his deployment, the PTSD, the subsequent sickness. Without her, I don't think my older brother would have held on for as long as he had. A little gift is nothing compared to what she deserves. It's the least I can do. Let's check out the market stalls. There are dozens of stands scattered about the big park. I decide to walk down the aisles of shops. Even during the flea market and farmer markets at home, there isn't as much heart. Jeez. People are displaying themselves in the art that they're trying to sell. I can appreciate that. I know that it takes a lot of courage and strength to put yourself out there. I'm particularly drawn to the small hand-carved statuettes that an older gentleman is selling. He sits down behind the table he is using as display and begins carving a chunk of wood right before my eyes. He looks up at me. He looks up with a warm smile. I haven't seen you around here before. Oh, I'm working in my sister-in-law Angeli's, and I just got here recently. My name is Lila. Ah, Angeli is always a doll. Her parasa is to die for. He notices my curious gaze and motions for me to come closer and get a better look at the statuette in his hand. It's not complete yet, but it resembles a person. My name is Willis, and I have lived here for all my life. In my day, I was a contractor and certified handyman. Now I carve. I see how intricate all of his designs are, and know that This is the right gift for Angeli. I just have to find the perfect statue. I can totally see her putting it right on her desk in the lobby of the inn. Your work is beautiful. Thank you. Are you interested in any of these little guys? Actually, yeah. I want to get one for Angeli. Willis holds up his index finger. Ah, say no more. I've got the perfect one, and because you're a new customer, I'll give you a discount. He shows me a small statue of a woman with her hair in a braid to the side. She has her arms outstretched towards the sky. This is the Guardian. When I was a child, my mother used to tell me a story about a woman who held a river stone up on her shoulders. Oh, wow. This is her, then? Mm-hmm. She represents strength and protection. Perfect for Angeli, don't you think? Someone to watch over the inn. My brother had a guardian angel pin, and that didn't stop him from being in the line of fire. It didn't stop those bad thoughts from haunting him years later. It didn't stop him from taking his own life. Those don't really work, you know. Well, they're not magical. They bring a peace of mind to those who own them. Well, Craig really believed in the little pin my mother got him. It didn't leave his sight, so whether it works or not, I'm sure Angeli will appreciate the thought. I suppose you're right. Angeli will like this very much. William and I talk for a bit. I tell him goodbye. He's a really friendly man, and assures me that everyone in Riverstone is this way. I'm happy with the statuette he picked out, despite the memories it brings up for me. Angeli and I are not the same person, and I am positive that it will have her gushing. I walk around and enjoy the art on display, stopping only when I hear a voice. Following me again? I turn to see Archer standing behind me, hands on his hips, his face is once again hidden beneath his scarf and hat. You're behind me, so you must be the one doing the following. Wow, cute. I thought so. Archer stares at me for what feels like hours. It's kind of uncomfortable being under his gaze, so I'm thankful when a loud voice breaks the silence. All who wish to participate in the snowman building contest, please sign up by the left field. The contest is for pairs, so please teams only. Someone is shouting about a snow building contest. It must be great fun to watch, though. Though Archer doesn't seem to share the same sentiment. Are we children? Archer's negativity is a damper on the holiday spirit. I don't know. Something about his disbelief makes me want to cheer him on and help him get his spirit back. Christmas is a great time, and if it's not marred by terrible memories. I don't see why we can't watch. Relax, it's just a phrase. I'm going to watch it. You don't have to come. Archer is wearing his infamous scowl, and I can only roll my eyes. Remember how we talked about you coming to the festival to get more in the spirit? I recall, which is why I'm here, and pleasantly surprised. The people here seem to be proud of what they do. And they should be. This is all so incredible. A lot of people have put themselves on display. It's really a festival of inspiration. Archer seems pleased by this statement. Got some ideas for a script? That's right. Angeli mentioned to Archer that I'm interested in making films. There are a lot of interesting characters in Riverstone. It's hard not to want to pick up a pen and jot a bunch of things down. Archer frowns, and for a moment I notice something. He's hesitating. Did I strike a nerve? No, I must be imagining things. Anyway, I'm going to be watching the snowman building contest. I'll see you back at the inn. I turn to leave when I hear Archer's trying to get the last word in. Have fun with your childish games. You know, I bet you're just saying that because you know you'll never win. With my creative genius, a simple snowman will be almost mundane. Prove it. I would, but it would require me to find a partner. I point to myself as if it's obvious. Hello, me. Archer shakes his head. No, I can't work with a DeLuca fan. You have bad taste. I bet you my taste wins us the contest. Fine, let's make it a bit more interesting then. I raise a brow. What did you have in mind? If I win, you have to show me one of your movies. It can be a short clip, I don't care. This has to be a trap somehow. Why does he want to see my work? No way. I knew it. You don't think you can win. I glared at him intensely. Of course I can win. I'll participate in your little bet. But if we win because of me, you let me see your room. He seems more amused by my statement than anything. Wait, no, I didn't mean that. So you didn't just ask to see my bedroom? No, I did, but I just want to get a glimpse of it. Why? Why? I guess it didn't make it any better. I just want to get a better idea of who Archer is, and they say you can figure out who someone is by seeing the place they live in. In this case, the closest I'll get is Archer's room. His bedroom is the only thing he doesn't share with the public. I kind of want to see what the real Archer's like. He sighs. I know, you don't understand me. I guess as long as you don't do anything weird, it's fine. Or violate the agreement, I got it. Archer and I head over to the park where the contest is being held. He looks around in awe. Sorry. I'm eating fudge. It's so good. Homemade fudge is the best. Especially when it's made by my dear mummy. How does this much snow fall just the right moment? It doesn't make any sense. Holiday magic, buddy. Buddy. Archer looks unconvinced. This man is such a killjoy sometimes. Maybe it usually snows around this time so that people of Riverstone know when to plan their festival. Or maybe the name of the festival means something other than the obvious celebration of snow having fallen. Archer rolls his eyes, but doesn't respond. Okay, so maybe there's no reason for him good enough for him. I don't know why I keep getting surprised. Last call for sign-ups. People of all ages welcome. Is it too late to back out now? No, but we did walk all the way up here. Fair enough. Archer, Irving, Prince, and I sign up for the intermediate level snowman building contest. Apparently there are multiple levels. Junior is for children only, and advanced is for people who go as far as carving the snow. See? Not for kids. Archer rolls his eyes but begins packing snow. The rules have already been explained. All we have to do is build the best snowman using things from the park in only 30 minutes. Hey, if you don't stop talking, we won't finish this dang snowman. I stick my tongue out at him and drop to my knees to begin packing the base of our snowman as well. Archer is very methodical with his actions, focusing on building the snowman up quite literally. He points to the ball of snow in my hand. No moving pieces. Build the whole thing from the base. Yeah, but it'd be easier to pack bigger chunks of snow than to do it your way. What? No, when the snow you packed could break. But your way will take too long and won't finish in time. He stops long enough to glare at me. I want to wipe that stupid look off his face. In fact, I look down at the snow in my hands and then back it up at Archer. I kinda want to throw some at him. Oh man, should I do it? Throw snow. I want to do it. Yay! I was right! Oh, I'm so gonna do it. Before I can talk myself out of it, I toss a large chunk of snow at Archer's covered face. He looks startled for a moment before standing up, then he leans down and grabs a fistful of snow. Don't do it! I try to warn him, but he steps closer and launches the snow at me. It spatters across my face. The powdery snow is so cold, but I'm not backing down. It's so on. Archer pulls up his scarf as if realizing he's out in public. And shakes his head. Wipe your face. I use my scarf to dry up the remnants of snow around my face, but it does nothing to warm me up. Being with Archer like this, even I forgot that he's a celebrity. Maybe an all-out snowball brawl isn't the best idea. I don't want people to recognize him. At the inn, we don't have to worry about all this. Motions to his face. I will crush you. I doubt it, but you can certainly try. I'll have you know my hand-eye coordination is top level. On what scale? Just then. And as Archer is about to say something, I catch the sight of a judge from the corner of my eye. She walks by a partially formed snowman, then placing a hand under her chin, she stares at the two of us. The two are falling behind the others, but there's still time to catch up. Lila Scott and Irving Prince, correct? After I nod, the woman looks down at her clipboard in her hands, then gives us an exaggerated smile, like I haven't seen one of those before. Newbies always take this competition for granted, but we have some really good prizes, so try your hardest. Huh? Did she just say that people take this competition for granted? Maybe I misread how serious snowman building is in Riverstone. Archer is unamused with her passive-aggressive tone, and rightfully so. We're not interested in any prizes. Even front row tickets to the tree lighting in the town square, because those are a hot commodity. I mean, you're welcome to stop by anyway, next weekend, but these tickets put you in the best spot. Archer smiles, and I know it's because... he could get those tickets easily if he exposed who he was. I'm kind of glad that he isn't the kind of person who flaunts his fame around. There's a lot of ways that Archer has proven that he can be a jerk, but it isn't because he throws it in someone's face that he's rich and powerful. After all, he's in a small town instead of a more lavish and flashy place, another curious thing about him that I want to learn more about. Archer raises his brow when he looks at me. I look away quickly, and as if he could read my thoughts. You want those tickets, don't you? Oh, that's what he's getting at. Good. But now that I think about it, I do want those tickets. Well, I mean, not for me, for Angeli. It's totally not because I never ever get to see the tree lighting in New York up close. Nope, not for me. Everyone in Riverstone does. On top of that, you get a gingerbread village baked by Lady Lacey herself, so try your best. There's still some time left to fix this mess. While our snowman is barely a snowman, really just a foundation, it is by no means a mess. Though looking around, I notice that most of the snowmen from other contestants are already 2/3 of the way built. I think we'll manage, Nick. When the judge leaves, I can't help but bite my lip and rub my gloved hands together. Snowman competitions are serious business here. Archer's expression is serious. His gaze is on the woman's retreating figure. His words are towards me. I don't like to lose, Lila. I don't imagine you're used to it either. Which may be why he hates Thomas DeLuca for stepping onto the scene and questioning his spot at the top of the pop artist pyramid. Of course not. I suggest we put aside our differences for the time being and win this competition. Both creative individuals, we can do it. Maybe, but it might be nicer to see you taste some humble pie. You know, seeing you lose might be better than those tickets to the tree light. My pride can take the hit. Can it? Despite my jovial tone, I lean down into the snow and pick up a fistful once again. I toss it in my hands and try to look as serious as I can to Archer. Okay, let's do it. But if we win, those tickets go to Angelia. I'm not against that. The woman is a saint for putting up with you. Me? Right, because I'm the one dealing with you. I'm the perfect guest. There's hardly any work you need to do. I ignore his remark and instead redirect him to her snowman. I know you said no moving pieces, but we're better off having someone build the base and the body, than having the other do the head separately. We'll save some time. Fine, go for it, but the face is the moneymaker, so don't make it an ugly snowman. We just need to make it distinct. You build your base, and let me worry about the details, okay? Archer and I have called off our bet in favor of working together to make the best snowman. Apparently Archer doesn't like coming in second place, and those tickets might be the best gift I can give Angeli. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. Besides, seeing him so intensely motivated about something he thought was for children makes me smile. I know, right? I want to like him. I want to hug him. Ask him why he is who he is, you know? Archer builds up the base quite nicely. He pats around the sides, making both the base and the abdomen of the snowman perfectly round. I don't know how he manages it. But Archer's style is very meticulous. The head I'm holding in my hands is much more rough. It has edges that I can't seem to smooth down. Place it on top and then we can decorate it. Archer looks so focused that I'm honestly shocked when he doesn't make a rude remark about how my work is much less perfect than his. He helps me place the lump of snow firmly on top of our snowman, and then gets to work on patting down the sides. I watch him in awe. Archer tackles every single imperfections. Give her some features, a face, a nose, some hair. Oh, she's a her? A strong, independent snow woman. Can't help but laugh, and Archer winks at me. It's so sudden that I had to just stare at him for a few seconds, trying to convince myself of what I've seen. He totally didn't just do that, right? No, he couldn't have. Well, his voice pulls me out of my daze. Hair, eyes, and a nose, maybe a scarf and some arms. Rules state that anything in nature can be used to construct a snowman. It's easy to find some rocks lying around for her eyes and some sticks for her arms. But there isn't much else besides snow that I can see around us. Still, it doesn't hurt to make a quick sweep of the area. Do you think we can use sticks to outline the shirt? I see Archer holding a stick up to the chest of our snowman woman. When I return, he tilts his head, trying to figure something out. Do we have enough time to fill it in with some stones? It could be like a sweater. We just push the stones in the front and the back. I don't see why not. I like it better than the stick idea. Do you want me to get the stones? You have a better eye for this kind of thing than I do. Plus, I don't want to mess up the perfect round snow woman we've made. Too much pressure. I give him what I have, and as he positions the arms onto our snow woman, I search for as many stones as I can. There isn't much, but we're able to create a striped pattern on both sides of the snow woman. When the bell for time rings, we both step back. I'm actually happy with what we've created. Snow woman has on a nice striped sweater and has some thick hair made from sticks. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we made a good team today. I did good for a DeLuca fan, huh? You should be a Lane fan. If we win, I will be. I've forgotten how much fun it is to actually build a snowman. I haven't built one since I was a child. I remember seeing the snow falling from our apartment window and rushing to Craig's room, him yelling at me for waking him up. But he'd get up every single time and bring me outside to build a snowman. I'd pull my snow boots up over my pajama pants, and Mom would make sure I had on at least 3 layers of jackets. There wasn't ever much room in front of our building, but the superintendent never minded that we used the little bit of sidewalk that we had. But in this moment, I've built a snowman with Archer freaking Lane. Who would have thought? Archer pulls out his cell phone and snaps a picture of our piece of art. Too bad I can't upload this masterpiece. Will everyone really be able to find you if you do? What are you so worried about? This time I don't apologize for my question, and Archer doesn't seem so irritated by it. Last year, some woman and her friends broke into my home and posted pictures of all my stuff on her social media accounts. People were able to find my address, and I had to move after that. That's not right. That's not right. I'm sorry. It is what it is, I guess. No, it isn't. People shouldn't be such jerks. You have a right to your privacy, the same as any other person. We're interrupted once again by the judge who was giving us a fake smile. Right when Archer was opening up. Gorgeous work, you two. I'm shocked that you're newbies, if I'm being honest with you. Definitely top 3. Top 3? Did you doubt me? I rolled my eyes at him. Maybe. Your boyfriend is cocky, but I guess it's within reason. The snow woman is a strong contender. You guys worked well with what you had. I wait for Archer to correct the woman on her comment about him being my boyfriend, but he doesn't. But it doesn't, though I do notice his playful smile falter. The judge writes some things down on her clipboard before walking away to judge another team. Thanks for entering the contest with me. Even if we don't win, I had fun. Me too, surprisingly. When the judge calls the teams over to announce the winners, Archer and I are shocked to see that we made 2nd place. Me, because I didn't think we'd score so high, and Archer because he didn't think he'd score so low. We did get a consolation prize, a gift card to Layton's grocery, which we did both agree to give to Angelique. Archer and I part ways from here. He's highly competitive, but I'm happy to have seen a new side of him. He was actually pleasant to be around today. I decided to head back to the inn so that Angelique can visit the snow festival for a bit. When I enter the inn, Angelique is typing away on the keyboard behind the counter. She looks up at me. Back so soon? Yeah. Long story, but Archer and I entered a snowman building contest together. I don't tell her about the gift card just yet. It'd mean more to her if Archer and I both gave it to her together. How did that happen? Are you 2 friends now? We've silently agreed to coexist. Angelique laughs. Silently agreed to coexist. I like that one. She looks down at her computer and then back up at me with a slight frown. I feel sort of bad for that boy. He pushes people away. You can see it in his eyes, just when someone gets too close. Close to scratching the surface, you mean? Maybe that's close to him. He has different standards than regular people. I've noticed. Different worlds. No, that's where you're wrong. We're all in the same world. He just has different terms and conditions he has to check off. I ponder that for a moment. Archer is a person with feelings, struggles, and worries. He just has to pretend they don't exist. He can't rant and complain like Angelique or I can. That makes him distant. It actually makes some sense. That's it! Angelique raises her brow curiously at my outburst. What is it? I've got to write this down. This character Archer is playing masks his true self, and I might have figured out why. Maybe he's not a jerk. I just have to figure out who he really is. Another challenge accepted. I hastily look around for a piece of paper. Angelique lets out a small laugh and slides one over to me with a purple pen. I scribble down my thoughts until finally I'm content with my fleshed-out breakthrough. Next big film? I really hope so. Angelique puts the pen back and deposits my folded-up piece of paper in a drawer behind her. Just be careful. You signed that non-disclosure agreement. I would never do anything to jeopardize Archer's privacy. I'm not like those other girls. Those other girls? Forget it. Just something Archer said to me earlier. Anyway, I came home early so you can go to the snow festival. Please go. You didn't have to. I already told you that I've attended the festival a million times. I know, but still, there were some people asking about you. Really? Yeah, look, I got you a gift from their booth. I reach into the bag and get the gift that I obtained earlier from Angelique. Oh, a little statuette. Is this from Willis's booth? She looks ecstatic at the little statuette that I purchased from Willis. I'm happy she likes it. Yep, I thought you'd like to have this beauty watching over you. Willis calls it the Guardian. Do you know the story? Of course I do. He tells me it every time I see him. And I'm not exaggerating either. What a sweet man. Thank you. I'll have to thank him as well. See, the people in this town love you, so go to the festival. I'm not sure when Archer is going to be back, but I can watch over the inn until then. I want to call my mom anyways and see how things are going. Are you sure? Yeah, just tell me what to do. I can hold down the fort. Just make sure that everything is okay, and do whatever Archer asks of you. That's within reason. He's still our guest. But that's within reason. He's still our guest. Oh, excuse me. Got it. Anything else? Anjali shakes her head. No, but I'm proud of you. Craig would be too. I'm taken aback by her admission. For some reason, the word proud always makes me feel embarrassed. I don't know. Maybe it's the attention. What? Why? You've released a movie and put yourself out there. You're working really very hard for me here at the inn, and you're playing nice with Archer, so thank you. Anjali, no impassioned words needed. I get it. She gives me a warm pat on my shoulder. I'm bringing us home some dinners, too, so don't eat. Anjali leaves, and I can't help but feel a little lonely in the inn. I decide that maybe now is a good time to call my mother and check in. I hope she's doing alright without me there. I always feel bad leaving her, especially since she'll be alone with those memories. My mother picks up on the first ring and my heart lurches. She's been waiting for this call, and I've been avoiding it. I sent her texts letting her know that things in general have been alright at the inn, but I have been dreading hearing her voice. Oh, Lila, I've missed you so much. Hey Mom, how are you doing? Is everything alright at home? I feel bad knowing that I've purposely been avoiding her. I'm a little lonely without you here, but everything else is fine. Mom, just say the word and you know I'll be home in a second. Absolutely not. I told you that I'm doing fine. Your sister-in-law needs your help, and you promised her you'd be there until Christmas. You're a Scot. You don't go back on your word. I don't think Anjali will mind in this case. Lila, I'm fine. Stop worrying about me. I can just picture her waving her hand at me in an attempt to get me to drop the subject. So what about you? How's Riverzone? It's nothing like home. There are no tall buildings or bustling streets, but I'm learning a lot, so it's definitely an experience. I'm glad that you're getting some knowledge from this. That's always good. I can't say anything specific, like who my guest is. Though I'm sure my mom would fall off the chair, off of the chair she's probably sitting in, if she found out I was working one-on-one with Archer freaking Lane himself. Believe it or not, she actually knows who he is. I can hear soft music playing in the background. If I strain my ears, I can hear the melody. Mom, turn that off right now. You know I hate that song. It's Christmas. Can I listen to some music? What's this music? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, not this crap. Turn it off. My hands are shaking. Silent Night, Crazy's favorite Christmas song. Why does she do this to herself? Why? I promise you, everything is okay. Stop doing this to yourself, Mom. Just please stop. Doing what, Lila? Listening to music? Reliving those memories over and over again. They're happy memories of your brother. This was his favorite song to listen to during this time of year. The front door creaks and I see Archer walk in with a small white bag in his left hand. He holds it up and winks again. I'm not really in the mood to smile up at him. In fact, why is he being so friendly? Waffles to celebrate our almost win, I guess, if you, want. Pull my cell phone away from my face. Oh, thanks. That's nice of him, and also severely out of character. What? I hear my mother's voice and pull the phone back to my ear. Oh, it's a hotel guest. I'll call you back later after my shift, alright? Turn that music off. Listen here, have a good time, alright? Stop worrying about me. I'm okay, Lila. I promise you. Now, I'll let you get back to work. I love you. Love you too, Mom. Bye. I really hope that she's not lying to me. If I'm out here gallivanting while she's crying at home, I'll never be able to live with myself. She's acting like she's unaffected by the whole incident, but I know she's putting a plate out for... I know that she's putting her plate out for Craig at the dinner. Oh, Mom. I feel the tears building up my eyes. Archer is standing near the front desk, and by the time I hang up with my mother, he has a mischievous gleam in his eyes until he sees me. I try to smile quickly at him, but I'm sure my feelings are evident on my face. I just can't do it. What, ever talked to your mother before? I look away from him and quickly down at the floor. Every night before I go to bed, he hands me the bag of waffles. He doesn't draw attention to the tears in my eyes, though I know for a fact that he sees them. I already ate. This is a nice gesture. I appreciate it. I reach up to wipe my eyes. The charade is up anyway. He knows I'm upset about something. It was, nothing. I was passing by anyway, so, yeah. I'm going to pretend like I don't notice Archer fumbling with his words, like he doesn't acknowledge my frown. Maybe he doesn't know how to deal with crying. I don't know. I kind of feel happy seeing him get flustered. I didn't just think that. What I mean to say is that having Archer worry about me in his own unique way is kind of comforting. He hasn't outright said anything that would be even remotely comforting, but he doesn't have to. It's strange, but I think I get it. A non-verbal cue. I feel like I should ask if you're okay. You don't have to. It's kind of embarrassing to talk about anyway. But I just miss my family. I haven't seen my mom in about a week. To you, that's probably not a lot of time, but I haven't ever left her side for more than a day or two, tops. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. She's your mother. I miss my mom all the time. It doesn't get easier because I'm a celebrity. Yeah, I guess you're right. If it came out wrong, I didn't mean anything by it. No, I get it. Listen, I can't tell you to cheer up and expect it to fix anything, but we'll see her soon, right? I'm going back in a few weeks for Christmas, so yeah, I'll be fine. I know in my opinion, probably to me it's little to you, because you're so convinced I'm in another world. I'm a celebrity, so what kind of hardships do I have, right? I've missed out on a lot of stuff, Layla. So I understand feeling homesick. He's on the road all the time. Even on his own downtime, he's alone. So what works for you? Being in the moment. I enjoy the moments I have now, because I know I'm lucky to have the opportunities that I do. I think of the people I love and how happy they'd be for me and how excited they'd be to hear the stories. So inadvertently, you're still kind of enjoying life for them. Yeah, life's precious. If we spend our time sulking, we'll miss out on the opportunities in front of us. Like that snowman building contest. Never in a million years did I think I'd enter that, and I had fun. I looked down at my hands to make sure that this was really happening. Yeah, me too. This is going to sound weird, but it was nice watching you let go a little bit. The not-so-produced version of Archer Lane is kind of cool. It's nice to be that guy, but not many times am I able to. So thanks for that. Maybe you're not that bad after all. I certainly didn't think I'd be meeting someone like you when I decided to come out here. I don't want to ask him why he's out here all by himself and not with his family. But I don't. Instead, I just smile at Archer because I'm happy that he's talking to me like this. Because I'm a little strange, right? It's part of your charm. Well, thanks. You're welcome. A silence befalls the two of us until Archer finally speaks up. So, Angelia's gone? I saw her walking out of the inn. Yep, I'm in charge now, so if you need anything, let me know. Thanks, I'm going to be in my room for a bit. If you need anything, I can't believe I'm offering this, but if you want to talk, it looks like he's struggling with his words. Are you offering what I think you're offering? Yeah, a listening ear. You know where to find me. Now, enjoy that waffle. Thanks. I watch Archer walk off, and immediately I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Even though I didn't tell Archer the full truth about why I was upset, he still had enough concern to talk to me. Not only that, he offered to listen to anything I wanted to talk about. I know that's something he doesn't offer lightly. I want to offer my own support to him, but Archer is a private person. Anyway, I have some time to myself now. What should I do? Yes! Okay, right choice. I can put more work into my script while I've got some time. Writing is a good way to release some steam, too. I reach for the paper with notes that I had scribbled before. All it boils down to is fear. I wrote this down originally when Angela and I were talking about Archer. I thought about what she had said, and I realized that I'm not giving Archer the benefit of the doubt because of my fear. I was fearful that I would never be able to be taken seriously by someone as important as Archer. But clearly, I'm wrong, because he's told me more than once that we're equals. I'm afraid of rehashing old feelings of immeasurable pain. I'm afraid of my mother breaking down and crumbling into nothing but a shell of who she once was. I'm afraid of letting Angeli down. I'm afraid of so dang much. With Archer and Angeli, it's hard to imagine them being afraid of anything. Archer. Did I say Archer or Arthur? I don't know. I have to separate Archer from his image on the television. The Archer I saw today is different. He has his own story to tell, and maybe he refrains from telling it because he's scared too. On Angelique's computer, I opened up her writing software and began typing the first few sentences that popped into my mind. If she wasn't afraid, what would she be? If she didn't hide behind herself, could she break down the walls in front of her? I don't know what it means for my story, but the words flow out of me like I'm hearing them directly from the muses themselves. I fold up the paper and place it back in the drawer I got it from. By the time I finish, Angelique is already back at the inn. Come to the kitchen. You can call Archer too. Huh? What for? I told you that I would bring home dinner, right? Oh, right. There's plenty of food to go around, so it's your choice whether you want to invite Archer or not. Oh, what should I do? Should I invite Archer along? Wait. Did I choose the wrong one? Well, I guess neither of them are. What? No. I guess I can invite him. You guess? Is someone nervous to ask him? No. I turn my head away from her so she won't notice the blush on my cheeks. Excuse me. Sure. I thought the two of you were getting along. Yeah, getting along is not the same as being friends. So you say. She laughs. Well, are you going to invite Mr. Lane or not? I take a deep breath and try to swallow my nerves. The worst Archer can say is no, and that's that. I don't know why I'm letting the bug get as much. It's just that jerk anyway. I don't have to knock on Archer's door because he's standing outside of his room already. In his hands is a large, clear garbage bag. Can I help you with something? I point to the bag he's holding. What are you doing? Throwing out my trash. No, don't do that. That's my job. Let me get that for you. I reach for the garbage bag, but he holds it above my head. No can do. What? Why? Are you hiding your garbage from me now, too? No, don't be daft. The bag is clear. You can see right through it. He holds it up to my face. I can see chocolate wrappers. Is that a guilty pleasure of yours or something? What, the chocolate? I love chocolate. Of course you do. Anyway, I'm here because Angelique has food catered for my visit. She says it's really too much for both of us to eat and would like to know if you'd like to join us. Yes! She'd like to know? Yes, that's what I said. That's why you're the one up here asking me. Sure, Layla, I'll join you. It would mean a lot to Angelique too, you know. She doesn't get a lot of guests up here. It's pretty lonely, and this time of the year is hard on us both, so. I turn around before Archer can say anything else about that or see the frown on my face. Anyway, just follow me. I hear no utterance or grunt from Archer to alert me to his acceptance of my terms. Instead, there are his footsteps against the wooden hallway to assure me of his presence. All the food smells delicious. Angelique sets the table in my cabin with a meal fit for a king. There's a platter of cheeses and olives, a pork roast, and a salad. On the side, there's mashed potatoes and mixed vegetables. To top it all off, there's chocolate cake. Oh, Archer, nice of you to join us. It's a pleasure. She gives him an appraising look before winking at me. I can feel my face heating up, and I know it's time to come up with some kind of escape plan. Thank you for having me tonight. You didn't have to invite me. It was Lila's idea, and it was a good one. We have so much food that there's no way we can eat it by ourselves. You don't have to lie to him, Angelique. He knows you're the nice one. Hey, I left the choice up to you, and you agreed. So we're partners on this one. It doesn't matter who invited me, thank you both. I haven't had the chance to sit down and eat a quiet meal with others in a long time. Oh boy, if you're looking for quiet, then you're in for a real treat. I know you don't do quiet, Lila. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about not having to look over my shoulder all the time for paparazzi or fans. I'm sorry, that must be annoying. It truly is. I love my fans, I really do, but sometimes I feel like I live my whole life for them. I lose sense of myself. Angelique shoots me an "I told you so" look, and I can already hear the lecture she's going to give me after dinner about Archer and I both being human, yada yada. I get it, we're human. We both want to enjoy our lives. Archer places a hand out, motioning for me to take my choice of seating at the table. I nod politely, stepping past him to sit at the far right closest to the door. Archer, are you by chance allergic to anything? The food was prepared in a kitchen where peanuts are held in storage. No, we're all good here. I can enjoy all this food. That's perfect. Then by all means, dig in. Please dig in. Hello. She doesn't have to tell me twice. Angeli sits beside me and Archer sits across from her. I really do appreciate this. Archer is hesitant to grab food. Meanwhile, I'm loading the calories onto my plate by the spoonful. Hey, you can make yourself at home. No one is going to judge you here. Nope. I don't even finish chewing before I start speaking, but I think that kind of informality has relaxed Archer a bit as he leans over the table and grabs a spoonful of mashed potatoes. I'm going to have to work all this food off after this trip. What's a few extra pounds, right? Yeah, tell that to my agent, please. She's on my case all the time about what I eat. She's not here right now. I don't look up at him when I say this, too afraid to see the look on Archer's face. No, not on my break time. I schedule this time away from everyone. I need it to recharge. I'm going to just take in the sights of Riverstone. My little town is quite impressive, isn't it? Definitely. It's got a lot of charm and character. I kind of feel like I'm in one of those cheesy holiday movies where some rich guy goes to a small town to find the meaning of Christmas or something. I never really got those movies. The real meaning of Christmas can be found anywhere, not just some mountainside retreat or small town that's isolated from the rest of the world. I told Lila that this holiday season was more a capitalistic cash grab now. More than anything, but he looks over at me. She believes in Christmas magic. It's real, I know, because after everything I've been through, I don't hate this season. You don't know how easy it would be for me to swear off the holiday for good, but I don't. Something keeps drawing me back in. It's Craig's memory that makes me hold on to the Christmas season. I can't stop celebrating because I know how much it meant to him. Anyway, that was a lot of unnecessary information. Let's talk about something else. I'm sure you get a lot of questions on a daily basis, Archer. Do you have any for us? Anything you want to know? Is this place something you've always wanted to open? Oh no, I was an English literature major in college. I wanted nothing more than to write the next thrilling academic paper on a Shakespeare play. But life has a way of throwing things into your lap. I met my late fiancé, and this was something he decided to open on a whim. And you went along with it, just like that? Yes, of course. It was a scary endeavor, packing everything up that I knew, and moving out here away from the city I was so used to. But Craig's face lit up when he talked about his dreams for this place. I couldn't say no. Now, it's a decently successful place. I get the business that I have to in order to stay afloat. I don't ask for more than that. Wow, that's incredible. He really does look awed by Angeli's confession. What about you? What about you? I shrink. I shrink. I love that. I love it when errors are funny. Also, I just now noticed the clock. Wow. Easter egg. I shrunk under Archer's gaze. I'm sorry. I shrink under Archer's gaze. Huh? What about me? How'd you find yourself here? I just needed a break from the real world. Things are tough back home, so I just decided to run away from it all so that I could clear my mind. I'm not as inspiring as Angeli. I'm going to leave in a few weeks and go back to my dull life. Your life isn't dull. You make your movies. You're very creative and you have a lot to say. I really don't. Everyone has a story. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to share. Well, not every story is exciting. They don't all have to be. Think about the movies on the market. Imagine having nothing but action films. How boring would that be? What about the people who prefer dramas or comedies? Why are you so well versed? It's like I'm reading an advice blog or something. Fine, you make some good points. I know I do. You have to be confident in your story, even if you hear that voice in your head telling you to back down. Because you'll fail if you don't believe in what you're putting out there. Confidence goes a long way. I'm more apt to want to invest my time into someone who looks the part. There's this big secret tactic. Should we be taking notes? Archer, Angeli, and I joked around like this for a while. Archer has had some really solid things to say. It's amazing how down to earth he is when he strips away that guard he keeps up all the time. I actually think that if the circumstances were different, we could be friends. Wow, that was really good. Thank you for sharing, but I'm so full right now. He has his hand on his stomach as if something is about to burst out from it. Did you tell Angeli about our prize in the snowman building competition, Lila? Oh, no I didn't. I leaned a little into the table and grinned at Angeli excitedly. We won second place, so we got a gift card to Layton's grocery. Archer and I wanted you to have it. Ah, no, I couldn't. Please take it. You've been exceptionally kind to me while I've stayed here. It's really the least I can do. Yeah, you've been great to me for my whole life, so this is really nothing. Aw, you too. Thank you both so much. Seeing you two get along is gift enough for me. But groceries are a nice addition, yeah? Definitely. Thanks again. You're very welcome. Archer suddenly lets out a yawn. Ah, I'm sorry. I really need a nap now. I always say that if the food doesn't make you sleepy, it's not that good. I'm having that leftover chocolate cake for breakfast. I placed his hand over my mouth, stifling a yawn. Maybe I need a nap too. You guys go. I'll clean up. No, I couldn't. Not after your kindness. This was my treat. I'm going to clean it up, and you two are going to take a nice nap. But it's best not to argue with her. You'll just waste 10 minutes of your time, and she'll still manage to get her way. She's right, you know. I'm the owner of the inn. Let me do my job. Thank you again. Of course. Archer and I walk out of the kitchen. I haven't forgotten about our snowball fight. Oh, you're on. I'll destroy you. Oh, you wish. He winks at me, causing my heart to flutter. Aw, it's so cute. I ship them. Thanks for today. Have a good night, Lila. Yeah, you too. Chapter 4. How long have we been streaming? Hold on, I'm gonna check. Whew, 2 hours, huh? I think that's enough for now. I'm gonna play some Subnautica. I really, really love this though. And I'm definitely going to play more. I'm not sure when. And I'm definitely gonna stream it, don't worry. So it's Thursday. So maybe tomorrow, since it's Friday. It's pretty late and I need to go sleep. Good night and good luck. Good night, Nero, and sweet dreams. Sleep well. Oh, my throat hurts from all the talking. I'm not. I usually talk a lot, but I'm not used to talking for 2 hours straight. Good thing I have water. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys in the next video. I am going to be revealing my Instagram soon, so that'll be fun. I made it where my account isn't private anymore because I'm more okay with showing my face now. But I will see you guys next time. My Discord and my Mixer and my Twitch. It's a lot of stuff, Tony. My Twitch, my Discord, and my Mixer are down in the comments. Not comments. What am I talking about? Excuse me. Jeez. Down in the description below. I hope you sprouts. I'm sorry. I'm tired and I'm. I hope you sprouts continue to broom. I hope you sprouts continue to bloom and grow. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.